Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
All right, welcome everybody to the latest episode of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with Dustin Fox and Mikey McNuggets. I'm Adam the Bull. We've got Anthony and Steve on the other side of the glass. Dustin thinks he's part of the royal family today. I don't know what's happening with the hand wave.
Happy wave.
It's like the Pope over here. Earl is in the building as well. We got a lot to get to today. Coming up later, we'll talk about Myles Garrett, whether he can break the sack record this week. We'll have Leroy Hoard on with us in just a little bit. And does Andrew Berry done enough to keep his job? Plus, Amir Abdullah.
No.
What?
Amir Abdullah's a football player. Abdullah Mason.
Abdullah Mason.
The youngest champion.
I just blew that.
You did. The youngest WO champion in the world right now.
Yes.
A Cleveland native friend of the show. He's coming. He's going to sit right
Such
here.
a good friend that I screwed up when I was
that's bad job out of you.
Terrible job out of me. But he's the youngest champion in all of boxing right now.
Yep.
Not ever.
Not ever.
But
Currently.
the youngest champion right now.
21.
He's been in studio with us before. Great young man. Even though I screwed up his name. This
represents
is a terrible job
Cleveland tremendously
yes,
too. So
better you did it before you got here.
And rumor has it.
Yeah.
Rumor has it. He's bringing the belt with him.
Oh.
He's bringing the WBO lightweight championship belt.
Hell yeah.
In the studio.
That's cool.
For us to be able to hold and
so Abdullah Mason, not Amir Abdullah.
Amir Abdullah's a football player.
Yeah.
Former running back in the Nebraska
anyway.
Lions.
Can I derail for 1 second?
Okay.
Because I wanted to ask you guys something.
Yeah.
My friends and I'm in a group chat.
Yeah.
With Zach Jackson and a couple
Degenerates.
other buddies. TA's in it, and my buddy Scotty. And Scotty's arguing with me last night.
Yeah.
That Ohio State shouldn't play their starters in this game.
Why? Because they're going to get hurt?
Because the game doesn't matter.
They're in regardless.
Because they're in the playoff regardless, and it basically like for example, like last year Oregon had to play in the Big Ten championship. They won, and then they're sort of getting screwed by the seeding process and the whole thing. I was like, dude, you're out of your mind.
Well, it's Scotty.
I know.
Who I know.
Yeah, okay, you know Scotty.
Yeah, he's a whack job.
But he, I don't think he's a whack job.
No, he is a whack job. But
oh yeah. But he's a great guy.
No, yes, but I understand where he's coming from on this. But if I'm a player, I want to go undefeated.
Yeah.
Remind me, Dustin, this current crop of Ohio State seniors has never won the Big Ten championship, correct?
I think you're right, because they lost to Michigan 4 times in a row, so they haven't played for the title.
What do you think they care more about, being undefeated or winning the Big Ten title?
I think it's you want to parlay it all together. Like I think if you I just can't imagine them sitting and not play. Okay, like Jeremiah Smith is banged up. I get it. If he's not 100%,
sure, that's fine.
He's one guy.
Yeah,
he could maybe not play, but all the Julian Sand to not play, you're out of your mind. I think
they have a chance to run the table. Go essentially coast to coast as the number 1 team in the country. They beat number 1 Texas to start the year. Since then, they've been the number 1 team. Their defense, as we mentioned yesterday, hasn't allowed more than 16 points to any opponent they've played. That hasn't happened in 50 years.
No one's ever gone 16-0, right?
Well, it'll be 15 because they get a bye. They'll get a bye.
They
in
would
the
get
first
a bye.
round.
So you would play.
So they're 12. They'll play Indiana, and then they'll play 2 playoff games, right?
No, 3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, 16-0.
Quarters, semis, and finals. So the first round, and then quarters, semis, finals.
Oh yeah, you're right because there's 8. So
it
would be 16.
It'd be the first 16
right,
team
the teams
ever.
that win play in the first round have to win 4 games.
4 games, correct.
Right. So I gotta believe they'd be the first team 16-0, right? Yes. Nobody played that many games.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not. And if you could look it up, has any college football team ever?
I don't know how that's possible.
There's no way.
Because there was before the playoff, you never played that many games.
I trust TA. What did TA say?
We just were like going kind of back and forth on it. TA, I don't think was too engaged in the conference because he was doing something.
Listen,
Zach had my back.
I hear the point, but you play your guys. You got a chance to win a Big Ten
He's taking
championship.
all the emotion out of it.
Right, and I'm putting myself in as a former player and thinking about how I would feel, or as a coach. And he's taking the emotion out of it, like almost like from a gambling perspective. Like, okay, we want the path of least resistance,
right?
Which would mean not having to play the number 2 team in the country, and getting into the playoff, and being rested, and all those things that go along with that.
Oh, so wait a second. So he doesn't. Is he worried about injury, or is he
just all the above?
Does he want them to be a lower seed?
No, I think Scotty's saying that if Ohio State is healthy, they cannot be beaten in the playoff.
Correct.
Right.
So don't risk anything in the Big Ten championship. Just get to the playoff.
Players want to play.
I agree. I think
and
that's
because of who you're playing the number 2 team. This almost feels like a pseudo national championship.
It's for the Heisman, by the way, too.
It is.
So you rest some guys, you're potentially costing your
Heisman.
teammate the Heisman.
Right.
So
Good point.
No.
But anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I'm with you on this. I think we're all with you on that. Mary Kay Cabot just reported this morning. It has happened. Let's see the tweet.
I would love to show you guys the tweet. Social News Desk isn't working.
We will not show the tweet. Mary Kay Cabot reporting that the Browns have opened the 21-day window.
And before we get into it, let me do a read first here, Bull.
Why not?
Because
go ahead.
The NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, and every highlight moment. Live betting is the best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you.
Before I finish my sentence, we also, while we were talking about Ohio State, should mention that Brian Hartline has taken the head coaching job at South Florida.
It's a great hire, great
Good luck
move.
to him
Yeah,
there.
love that move for Brian. I think it's one of the best non-Power 4 jobs in America. Alex Golesh, who's a former Buckeye, took the job at Arkansas. Alex Golesh did.
Yeah.
And did he go to Auburn?
He went to Auburn.
He went to Auburn.
Oh, right.
Arkansas was Silverfield.
Yeah.
But South Florida, they're building their own stadium now for the first time. Like Golesh got a bunch of money raised. I mean, it's a really good job. And you're in freaking Tampa.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah, we'll see. I know that obviously he's done a great job. We'll get into that later. But I wanted to get back to what I was saying. The 21-day window, the Browns have opened it up for Deshaun Watson.
And even more importantly, Mary Kay said in her report,
Yeah.
he's practicing today. He will be on the field going through
Look at that.
Come on.
the quarterback repetitions, whether he gets any first-team reps, second-team reps, third-team reps,
Oh boy.
remains
That's
to
gonna
be seen.
A lot of controversy if he gets any first
But
team reps.
Deshaun Watson will be on the practice field today, going through practice as one of the members of the Cleveland Browns for the first time all season.
Yeah, I think we need to put down a poll. Will you lose your mind if Deshaun Watson gets any first team reps? Yes or no? Is that acceptable for Deshaun Watson to get any first team reps? Or
What do you
if
think?
he does get first team reps, does that mean Kevin Stefanski hates Shador more than he hates Deshaun Watson?
What do you think,
No, I wouldn't give him any first team reps. No.
Dustin?
I would give him first team reps if he thought he was going to play.
Right.
No, I agree. Yeah,
If he's going to play, he's got to get reps.
Yeah, right, but he's not going to play right now. So
No, I would be surprised if he got any reps with the first team. He's not going to be active, right?
So here's how it works.
Not this week.
They have 21 days now
To activate
from
him.
now
Yeah.
to activate
So he
Deshaun
can
Watson and
practice,
put him
he
on
can
the
do it, yeah.
actual 53-man roster. If they do not activate him during this 21-day
He's out
window,
for the season.
he goes back in the PUP list, cannot play the entire season. So they have 21 days, which
So
means
it's an evaluation process. They can see if the guy is
exactly.
worthy of playing, if he's healthy enough to play, all those things that go into it. And at that point in time, the Browns can make a decision
Which
about
means-
whether to play him or not.
if you look at that 21-day stretch,
Mm-hmm.
assuming they use the whole 21 days, takes him out of the running
Well,
for
you don't
Tennessee.
have to.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying time-wise.
Right.
It would take him out of the running for Tennessee, takes him out of the running for Chicago, takes him out of the running for Buffalo, which leaves Pittsburgh and Cincinnati as the two games after that 21-day window for Deshaun to potentially play. Now, they could
not
activate
going
him
to.
prior. No, they could activate him prior.
I know.
But those
I
are the
just
two-
can't imagine he's going to play. I mean, if he's healthy and Shador got hurt,
Would you rather go Watson over
I'd
Gabriel?
rather see Watson one more time. He's under contract. I might as well see him one more time. But
I mean, listen, at this point,
yeah,
they're paying the guy.
yeah.
Paying him a lot of money.
Paying a lot of money.
A lot of
Yeah.
money.
I mean, it
A
seems
lot of
like-
money to be a spectator.
It feels like he's completely shot as a football player, but you never know.
I mean, he looked terrible last year when he played.
Yeah, I mean, it's
He
been
looked
5
terrible.
years since he was a good football
I mean, the
player.
bar is so low right now for the quarterback position in Cleveland that maybe the pressure's off of him if he comes back out and plays.
But is it about pressure, or is
I
it
have
just
no
he's
idea.
lost his talent?
I don't think he's lost his talent.
I mean, he's lost some of it with the injuries, the
Injuries,
shoulder injury.
two Achilles.
You're right.
He's
I mean,
lost some of the explosiveness,
Yes.
but in terms of the ability to throw the football and like his brains? Like he's always was a smart guy.
I don't know.
I do think some of it's mental. He's scared to throw the ball down the field. He was.
That's what I'm saying. The mental aspect of it is something I would be curious to see.
Sorry, Coach, you off. But I just remember last year in the 7 games he played, after that shoulder injury, which was a rare, kind of never seen before shoulder injury for a football player. Some of the deep passes, some of the out routes, I mean, it was a sitting duck waiting to be picked off and ran back the other way. I just don't know what the arm talent is left.
And I think it's more again, Mike, Anthony. Can you put
deterioration? His career stats in Cleveland.
Can you imagine the day he traded for him? I went bananas. I was so excited. If you would have told me
there's your $100 million.
This is what you got.
230.
There was no. You could never have convinced me that this would have been the reality of the situation. The worst case scenario to me was he'd be okay. Like I couldn't have imagined any lower than him being okay.
If you do the math, right now, Steve, pull that graph back up for 1 second.
12 mil a touchdown.
$12 million a touchdown. $12.1 million per touchdown pass thrown for Deshaun Watson.
Well, that may be a lot, unless you're Odell Beckham Jr. Then it's not a lot.
You're gonna make Earl upstairs mad. Come on. Why are you gonna trigger Earl?
Why am I triggering Earl? Earl said he agreed with me. They don't want to talk about it. But we got to talk about it at some point. Maybe not today. But the fact that Odell Beckham said $20 million a year is not enough money to live on forever.
I think he was talking about because the guys have a lifestyle that.
Well, then don't have that lifestyle. Nobody feels bad for you.
I don't think he was saying it to make. Was he saying it to make people feel bad for him?
He was saying it like
I saw the clip.
First of all, why do you have to go the rest of your life without working anyway? I mean, so how much money? And that's bogus anyway, because how much money has he made on endorsements and stuff like that? Zillions, I'm sure.
I just think my takeaway from it was that he was just trying to tell people that when someone says $100 million, it's really not $100 million. It's like $30 million after.
It's not $30 million.
Or whatever
it is.
Carried
away.
It's about 40.
Everybody pays taxes, or everybody should, except for big corporations with billionaires. Right. They don't pay their taxes. Everybody else does. So he can't say, well, you got to pay tax. We all know everybody pays taxes. But most people can't afford to. Half the country can't afford a meal. I'm going to feel bad for Odell Beckham. He's $20 million a year. He goes, by the time you spend all this money and blah, 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 then you're down to $4 million a year. $4 million a year, half the country won't make $4 million in their life. Working 60 years, 70 years, maybe more than half the country.
I don't think that was the conversation.
Well, F him then, for even bringing it up. Okay. I've sidebarred us. Deshaun Watson.
Back to Deshaun.
Is he going to play? Will he take a snap for the Browns this year?
I'd be shocked if he plays. I would be. And maybe that's not right.
Nothing would shock me with this team.
But I'd be shocked.
Nothing would shock me with this team.
Okay, will he play? Will he take a snap for the Browns this year?
No.
If he does, will he get booed?
Yes.
Probably. I don't think he ends up playing.
I actually don't think he'd get booed.
Really?
I don't.
They booed him when he got hurt.
Yeah, I think he gets booed off the field.
I mean, it was a small fact.
How many people really booed him when he got hurt?
Enough that people made a story out of it.
I know, but the fans have also witnessed a lot of bad quarterback play this year, and at any point if he comes in the game, I just think there's sort of a little bit of excitement. There's some unknown.
What if Deshaun is Deshaun again?
No,
I don't think it happens.
No,
but what if?
Nearly impossible.
What if Deshaun is still Deshaun somehow?
No. What do you mean? It's been 5 years.
I said
5 years.
I said what if, but I didn't say it's going to happen. I said what if.
That's like a 1% chance. He is not going to take a snap for the Browns. In fact, I bet he doesn't even get activated. They opened this window
because they had to.
I don't know if they had to, but
at some point you have to.
Not necessarily. Not if he's not ready to play.
You can leave someone on the PUP list the entire season.
Yeah,
without putting him on. Because I thought you had to put him on full season injury reserve if there was no chance.
I don't think so.
Play.
I mean, you could be thinking, well, maybe he'll be ready at some point.
I guess
I thought he has to go on an active roster after 21 days.
No, they don't have to activate him.
Let's see what Mary Kay said.
If they don't activate him after 21 days, he's done for the year. That's what happens. Okay. Either way.
Well, he's getting his money guaranteed.
Yeah. So. Either way, I don't think he will take a snap. Did you put up that poll, Anthony?
Yes, I did. Let me check Leroy in, and I'll get you the.
Okay, I would like to know the results of that. Will people be angry if Deshaun gets even one first team?
Well, here's the thing: they can't put him on IR if he's not hurt. Like if he's back here practicing and he's healthy, they have to activate him.
Yes, but if he's not 100% healthy and he's willing to play along, then.
But why would he be?
Why would
he wants
why
to
would he want to play along? He wants to play.
But they don't have to play him, so.
No, but he'd have to go on the active roster.
Well, maybe his only chance of ever getting another job again is if he's helps the team that paid him all this money out.
There's a lot of hypotheticals there.
A ton of hypotheticals.
Okay, so our poll results.
Yeah.
54% yes, they will lose their minds. 46% no.
That's an interesting one.
All right, I already see Leroy shaking his head and laughing, so we'll
Go
bring
ahead.
him in
What's
here after
Leroy
this
laughing
read.
about?
Leroy today is brought to you by Aura Frames. Guys, the holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on, and if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap, it's a way to share memories, because Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it, so when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure out, no setup headaches, it's just instant smiles. I'm thinking about getting one for my mom to put pictures in with my nephew. And for a limited time, you can save on perfect gifts by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carva matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code LOCKEDON. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now and get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout.
There you go, Leroy.
What's up, Leroy?
Leroy, were you out there protecting the Block M too?
No. Well, first of all, let me say this. Congratulations to the Buckeyes.
Thank you.
They won. I'm not going. They dominated. They were a better team. Like, there's no questions about it. I think one of the things that I've noticed during the course of the year, between Michigan and Ohio State, is that they both had young quarterbacks. One had to be thrust in a position because of his surrounding talent, and the other one had an opportunity to grow and get better as the season went on. And you could clearly see that, evident by every time during the year when you had to put pressure or get a play out of a young quarterback, especially for Michigan. I mean, you couldn't just chuck it up and have somebody go and make a play. And so, but that's all right. I tip my hat. I'll wait the excruciating 364 days until next year, and we'll go at it again.
All right.
Leroy, I know you just heard us talking about Deshaun Watson. Daniel Oyefusi said that Deshaun will get individual work today, and the next steps could possibly be Deshaun getting scout team quarterback reps in practice. So with that information, do you think Deshaun actually takes a snap for the Browns again this season or ever?
Yes. Because why not? Like, you might as well. Like, of all here, it's not Deshaun's fault. It's not Shadour's fault. It's not Gabriel's fault that your best option is Deshaun Watson. For whatever reason. Being young, need time to develop, whatever that reason is. That being said, you guys don't think that you could be put on injury reserve and be healthy?
Exactly. That's what I said.
No, you didn't hear what we said. He would.
Okay, go.
Why would he agree to that?
He ain't got no choice.
What do you mean he has no choice? What are you talking about?
He has no choice.
He has lots of choices.
If the team says I'm putting you on injury reserve, what you gonna do?
He could create a stink.
He could create a stir.
He could create a stink.
And if he wants to play in this league and he's healthy, what's that?
What? And?
What do you mean,
let me ask you.
The league can't put somebody on IR. They couldn't put me on IR and say I'm hurt. If I said I'm not hurt, I'd go to the union.
Okay.
Right. Guys don't normally do that. You're right. It happens. Okay. It definitely happens. Okay. But he could, if he wanted, make a stink about it.
Here's the other issue. He's got guaranteed money.
Yep.
What the team chooses to do with him, with his guaranteed money.
Well, that means they don't have to play him.
Right.
But legally, they have to put him on the active roster if he's healthy.
Especially if he's not going to cooperate, because if he was going to make a stink. But either way, I don't know. Why do you think he's going to play? At this point, don't you want to see what Shador has?
Well, I'll use Shador's words.
Okay.
This was me after a week. Imagine how much I'll get better in a whole offseason, which he already had, by the way. And I'll say this about sometimes he says things and is not reading the room well, and I would say when you say something like that, you're kind of saying that I didn't do anything to get myself ready before now. You know what I mean? And it may not be the case, but it's a bad look. You should never say that, because most quarterbacks who aren't starting, you usually hear the company line, and I'm gonna do everything in my preparation as if I'm playing, so that when my opportunity comes, I'll be ready. And he could very well be doing that, but that's not what he said. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you look at your options, can anybody argue that Deshaun is not the best option?
I mean, I guess at this point he's probably still the best. But what's the point? The season's over anyway. Don't you want to see the young guys play? If you're telling me I got to win the games, I guess I'd go with Watson, even though I don't think he's good.
Let's look throughout the landscape of the NFL and look at all the quarterbacks in the NFL that aren't playing for their original team.
Right.
And the reason why they're not is because of what you just said. Whether he's ready or not, let's see what he has. And he ends up ruining his opportunity to play on that team because he may not be ready to play. I don't care if it's a first-round pick. I don't care if it's a seventh-round pick. Like, if you're not ready, somebody's just saying throw him out there and see what he can do does not help if you're not there yet.
So you don't think he's ready? Do you think he's not ready to play right now?
I think he needs more structure in his quarterbacking, meaning that he can make plays, and he sometimes rolls around and makes great throws on the run. But I would say this is that you also have to learn how to drop back in the pocket, look the right way, make the right reads, and then throw the ball then. Mm-hmm. That's going to give you consistency in the league, not running around making plays. That tends to catch up to you. And so from that standpoint, like, without seeing him every day, I don't know where he is in that development. I just know that he's playing quarterback right now because they have no other quarterbacks.
Do you think that Shedeur, if he were not Shedeur Sanders and didn't wear number 12 and didn't say Sanders on the back of his jersey, would get criticized more or even less? I mean, would it be different if he weren't such a polarizing figure?
I would say he would still be getting the same criticism. I think a lot of times they criticize some of the things that he says, and they're always quick to say that he's not his dad, right? Which is unfair to him because you don't know that he's just not being him, you know. And to make that, you know, to say that is not being fair to him. However, I think if he wasn't Shedeur Sanders, there's a lot of things that would happen here. One, we wouldn't be looking at him and saying, oh, he was supposed to be the second quarterback in the draft. Why did he drop so much?
That's right. He
would have just been known as a fifth-round draft pick that probably has some talent but needs to develop. And I think that's part of the thing that hurts. Let's not, you know, it wasn't a conspiracy, okay? People saying he was going to be the second pick in the draft, I don't know that teams thought that. They were just talking heads saying that. And so what ends up happening is when he dropped, we automatically go to every other thing other than his skill set and the development that's needed out of him. And it's that part is unfair to him because he was claimed or deemed to be, I mean, remember, The year before they were drafted, the conversations were, who do you want, Shador or Cam Ward?
Yeah.
And so the fact that he dropped to where he did to get drafted, he already comes in with, this stigma on him as to, well, why wasn't he the second quarterback taken, and why was Dylan Gabriel taken before him? What's going on with him? So he's already got some of these things on him that kind of hinders his ability to go out and become a professional. But he's got to fight through that, and I think that he's shown that he can make plays on the football field. Now it's about making plays as a quarterback, dropping back in the pocket, reading the defense, getting his team lined up correctly, getting his team in the right play. All these things a coach has to feel comfortable with your abilities to do before you even throw a pass.
I wanted to ask you about that, Leroy. We saw the game plan against San Francisco. They ran the ball a ton. Weather conditions played a big role in that. I totally get that. But on their one scoring drive, they ran the ball 8 times. In the 9th, they've had to play action, Shador hit Fannin. Really nice execution on the play. They scored. Over the next 5 games, let's just say Shador has the runway over the next 5 games. For the Browns to make a proper evaluation on whether or not Shador can be their franchise quarterback moving forward, do you believe they have to take some of the guardrails off the game plan to allow him to show more, or do you kind of like how Stefanski and Tommy Rees and this offensive staff game plan against the Niners, heavily featuring the run to make his game easier?
I think, and let's think of it this way. If you have a quarterback that's quick to take the ball and scramble and run or whatever, to put him in certain situations to throw the football is kind of being unfair. So what they did was they kind of rolled him out to give the appearance that he was scrambling to start. And those seem to be pretty productive plays. You roll him out, he threw the ball well in some of those situations. The other thing that I would say is that, like, while we sitting here talking about the quarterback, if you had guys that were getting open consistently and were out there catching the football and doing everything they could for your quarterback, it would help also. There's a lot of times during the game where if you watch the game, there's nobody getting open. There's no separation. Those throws become tight. And for a young quarterback, that's difficult to make that tight throw, when there's no separation, because the one thing you adjust from college to the NFL is that you're throwing guys open. And in college, you throw to open guys. And so, it's a learning curve for everybody that I think we all just need to just kind of understand. Could they open it up a little more? I hope, and this is not to see failure, but I hope that they put him in enough situations where he knows and he gets a feel for what he needs to work on. Right? Like, it's easy to turn on a film and slow the film down and stop the film and say, that's cover 2. Ooh, this is what I want to do in a meeting room. But when it's live, that cover 2 converting to cover 3 or cover 2 man under, all that stuff is happening in seconds. 2 or 3 seconds. So that's the part of it I want to see, and I want them to try to help him get through those moments. So does he need to drop back a little more? Yes. But I would also say that if you're having success running the ball, then don't do it to make a point. You're still trying to win a football game. And if that's what you're having success at, is running the football, play action, rolling him out, and that's working, then stay with it.
Leroy, last thing, we're going to go to the defense. Myles Garrett, you wouldn't ask this question about any other player. He's got 19 sacks. The record's 22.5. They're playing the Titans, who make the Browns look like a Super Bowl contender. They have given up the most sacks in the league. Can Myles Garrett not only break the record, but could he break it this week with 4 sacks in this game with Tennessee?
Yes. I don't make up the stats.
Yeah.
Like if you're giving up the most sacks in the league and you got the sack leader and a guy who's unstoppable playing against them, I'm going to just put 2 and 2 together. I'm going to play the numbers. Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you, go back to your playing career a minute and think about the great pass rushers that you had to deal with, because obviously you played against some great ones. But, like, what's it like dealing with a guy like this? Running backs got to help out on these things sometimes. Like, what's it like dealing with a monster like Myles Garrett?
Well, first of all, you have to take your offensive lineman out to dinner after the game because he's going to be mad at you. Because here's what happens. When the offensive linemen have one of those days against a Reggie White, against LT, against Bruce Smith, when you have one of those games, and you're going to be mad all week, you're going to be concentrating, you're going to be mad, and in the back, in his efforts to help you, that means chip or, cut a guy when he's on the inner line of scrimmage or something like that. What ends up happening is you piss that guy off more. and now and so you get back in the huddle and your offensive lineman is staring at you. You think you helping him out, and he looking at you, and basically you've made it worse for him. So it's a back and forth thing. It's a thing that you got to work well with your offensive lineman. You got to they'll slide the protection to him. But here's what makes what Myles is doing and unbelievable is that while people think it's just one pass rusher, the reason why he's getting single and just a back chipping and you can't kind of turn the line towards him is because the job the other guys are doing on defensive line.
Yep. And
so they are getting Myles in a position because of the job that they're doing where you can't just slide the protection to him every time. You can't just double him with a guard, or you can't do it. And then if there's a weak spot on your offensive line, Myles Garrett may be inside. Mm-hmm. And now what you going to do? So they move him around. They create mismatches. The other guys on the defensive line have been handling their business to the point where if they go all out to block Myles Garrett, guess what? Somebody else is going to get a sack. Mm-hmm. So that's it. He's having a great year. He's going to have probably one of the greatest statistical defensive line years ever in the history of football.
He's already there.
He's already there. But here's the thing. If not for the job of those other guys, if he was the only pass rusher, go look around the league when you talk about one defense that only has one dominant pass rusher. He's not doing well. But with the work of all those other guys and what they're doing up front, like, it's unfortunate that they can't score. Because this is, over the last couple of years, one of the most dominant defenses that I've seen. They have nothing to show for it.
Nothing. It's hard to believe. Leroy, we appreciate it as always, man. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. I see you, Dustin, with your Ohio State stuff on.
Ward, just for you, partner. Ward, just for you.
Don't worry, I would do the same thing, brother. I would do the same.
I know you too well.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks,
all right,
Leroy.
brothers. Y'all have a
All
good
right, Leroy.
All right.
See you later. All right, well, we'll get to the Myles Garrett conversation later, but before we do that, we got Dane Brugler's latest mock draft, but first Anthony's got something for us.
Yeah, before we get to our mock draft, guys, I want to remind everybody to go follow us on social media. All of our handles are right here on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And I want to give a special shout-out to Taylor Sommers, I think is how I'm pronounce that. They are in our 0.4 percent of viewers on YouTube. They've watched 396 of our videos.
I didn't even know that was such a thing.
So on YouTube's Rewind. So big shout out to Taylor and big shout out to anybody that has us in their Spotify Wrapped, YouTube Rewind, and I think Apple does one as well. So huge shout out to all the support that you guys give us.
Yeah, we got tagged in a bunch of the Spotify, Apple, and YouTube Wraps yesterday, and genuinely, like, it gives me chills knowing that we're that part of someone's life, and it means the absolute world to us. I'm not being facetious whatsoever. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for allowing us to be part of your daily routine, and it means the world to us. So thank you. And if you have us in your Spotify Wrapped, Apple Wrapped, YouTube Wrapped, whatever they call it, tag us. We'll retweet it. We'll like it, and we appreciate you guys from the bottom of our hearts.
They've watched how many videos?
It just tells you of the whatever audience that watched a UCSS video or listened to the podcast on Spotify. You're in the top whatever percentile.
So this guy,
they're P1s.
Yeah, they're the OGs. They're the day ones. They listen to everything we do, and we can't say thank you.
I don't know. From the bottom of my heart, where did that expression come from? Is the bottom of your
heart? We're going to find out right now.
Steve Becker will text us in about 23 seconds with the Grok answer.
We'll ask Grok. That's
What's up, Zach?
Steve Becker.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk a little mock draft.
So Dane Brugler, who's one of the good mock draft guys out there, although
friend of the show too.
Yeah, is he?
He's been on 4 times.
He's been on 4 times?
Yeah. I think if you're more than a 3-time guest, you're a friend of the show, yeah.
This goes back to the 1500s, man.
Really? What does it mean?
It originated from ancient beliefs that the heart was the center of emotions.
Yeah.
And the bottom represents the deepest, most sincere feelings. It was earliest documented use in English was from the 1500s there, Bull.
Who knew?
But it has roots going back to all the way to the Virgil's Roman epic poem. Way back in the day. How about that?
Who knew?
Yeah.
All right,
from the bottom of my heart.
There it is. There's more love in the bottom of the heart. So it makes sense, Mike. All right. So now we're in this situation because of mock drafts. The whole Shedeur Sanders situation is solely because of mock drafts and because of the groupthink in some of these mock drafts. But Dane is one of the best guys at doing this, and he put out a mock draft. I don't know if it was his first of the offseason.
It was his first of the offseason.
Yeah.
He
said
not
of the offseason,
it's super early. This is just
Yeah.
at this point. This is what I think will happen.
Yeah. And he had in his mock draft, because he has the Titans and the Giants finishing with the 2 worst records. Both those teams don't need a quarterback, or they may, but they're not going to draft a quarterback this year. And so he had them trading with the Browns. He said it would take their 2 first-round picks. And then he said a second-round pick in 2026. Now, that doesn't seem like a crazy amount to give up. I don't know that it wouldn't take more than that.
Depends on the bidding war.
I mean, to move up 4 spots, all you're giving up is pick 26 and a 2027 second-rounder. If you're convinced that Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore are the next top 10 quarterback in the league, that's a no-brainer that you would do that.
Well, if you look at what the Browns got from the Jaguars to move back from 2 to 5, which is incredibly simple. 1 to 5, 2 to 5. I understand for quarterback versus not a quarterback,
that's a huge difference.
Which does play a difference in the price you pay. That's essentially the price Jacksonville paid to move up.
Yeah, I think the Browns would have to give up more. But
I agree. I'm just saying, like for comparison's sake, it was an extra first and a second. Obviously, in this year, it's a different year.
It doesn't matter in the end. You're going to give up if you think Fernando Mendoza is the next top quarterback, you're going to give up whatever it takes to get him.
And Brugler did have the Browns taking Mendoza in this,
right?
And Dante Moore going number 2.
Yeah.
To the Vegas Raiders, who traded up with the Giants in his mock draft.
Now, in his Dane Brugler's analysis was, well, neither of these guys, he didn't have them as a superstar, but that they're very. His comparison for Fernando Mendoza was Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins. To me, that's not good enough that I'm trading all this. Although I think there's a difference between Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins. I like Goff a little more, but
I've heard Matt Ryan as another comparison for Mendoza. What would you if Matt Ryan was the guy you were getting? Is that worth the first overall pick?
Sure.
Well, it's more than the first overall pick.
Well, but is that a quarterback you'd be willing to trade up to get if you were getting Matt Ryan?
Will he have Matt Ryan's career?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Matt Ryan,
then I would do that.
Yeah, 100%.
I would do that. Yes, but there's a difference between Matt Ryan and Goff and
fully. I'm just saying that was the other guy who I've seen compared to Mendoza a lot.
Can we have Matthew Stafford? Can I take Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, who knows what they'll turn into?
Yeah.
But
and by the way, those other guys, Goff and who's the other one you mentioned?
Kirk Cousins.
Cousins. I mean,
I'm not trading 3 first-round picks for one of those guys. I wouldn't.
Sure you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
Cousins, no.
Cousins was an unbelievable quarterback and just didn't get over the hump because he probably didn't have enough around him, didn't have a great deep. Like, he was good enough.
I mean, they had a pretty good defense.
Dude,
he had a good back there.
He lost to
he
Daniel
had Justin
Jones
Jefferson
in the
at the end, like later in his career, later his time.
Yeah, I'd take Kirk.
I think
Cousins
Kirk Cousins is
was
an
awesome
above-average quarterback to me.
I'm with you on this one.
I mean, I like Goff. Goff is like borderline. I would do it for a Matt Ryan career. I'm just not sure you can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
He made it
I
to
guess
one.
we'll see.
I mean, he
Made
did
to
make
2?
it.
No, one.
One, yeah.
The Rams, yeah.
With the Rams.
I mean, if you can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts, you can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
Is Jared Goff better than Jalen Hurts?
They're different players,
Yeah.
is the point. But I'm saying, like, no one would have said Jalen. If Jalen Hurts hadn't won the game last year,
Right.
you'd be saying, well, you can't win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, it's
so. The Eagles do have more, or at least last year had more talent.
Especially the way he's playing this year, you'd be like, shit,
Yeah, he's been playing
that was
terrible.
a one-off.
Yeah.
So the question I want to
I
ask you
could be
two-
talked into Jared Goff, not Kirk Cousins.
The question I wanted to ask you two,
Yeah.
based off what Brugler had, and we
Yeah.
pull up the full mock 1 through 10 real quick, just so everyone is playing off the
Guarantee
same
you
rules here.
80% of our fan base would not make this trade.
I bet you it's 95% of the fan
No,
base
it's
would
not.
make
Actually,
the
it's
trade.
lower than that. We're both wrong. Because we're just thinking of the Shadorians only.
Well, I'm saying if we put a poll up in our
Yeah.
sphere,
Yeah.
it'll be 95%.
Nah, it won't.
I
won't.
bet you it will.
I'm on it.
Put it up.
Put
But
it
the mock draft ended up going Mendoza 1,
More.
Dante Moore 2, which were both trade
And
ups.
then back-to-back Buckeyes.
They had 5 Buckeyes in the top 20, by the way. Arvell Reese 3, Carnell Tate 4, Kedrick Falk, the defensive end from Auburn, going to the Titans at 5.
Yeah.
Then 6 through 10, you had Reuben Bain, defensive end, Washington. Jordan
Yeah.
Tyson, brother of Jalen Tyson.
Yeah,
Happy birthday day belated to Jalen Tyson. David Bailey, the defensive end from Texas Tech. Spencer Fano, the first offensive tackle
Oh, that's
off the board.
unfortunate. Caleb Downs.
And Caleb Downs going to Cincinnati.
That's
Boy,
not
you,
good.
you would
You'd love
hate
to have
that.
him.
No, but if the Bengals draft him, he's going to be every Bengals draft defensive player turns to crap. So if
So
they
you know it'd
draft
be
him,
a
it's
fan.
going to ruin his career.
But with all the needs the Browns have from
Yeah.
a roster standpoint, specifically offensively, they need tackles, they need receivers, they
That's
need
irrelevant.
guards, they need centers.
Irrelevant.
Do you think, and I'll give you my answer after, I want to hear what
Everybody's
you guys think
flipping
first.
out because I'm saying irrelevant. Not that those things are irrelevant.
Do you think
Yeah.
that it is worth the price to pay to move up to get a quarterback when you have those other holes to fill?
Those other needs to me are a non-factor in this decision. You either think that quarterback's a franchise quarterback or he's not. If he is, those things you figure out other ways. If he isn't, then of course you don't make that trade. That's it. I mean, what do you think?
I
can find other ways to get tackles and guards and
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
do you think that guy gives you a chance? Number one, the chance to make the playoffs first.
Yeah, right,
I mean,
right, right.
Our expectations are win the Super Bowl. Have we watched what we've seen for the last decade in Cleveland? Like, dude, come on. The bar isn't that high.
well, I hear you, but it needs to be. If you're going to make a trade like this, it's got to be with a high bar in mind.
Sure, but it's not. You can't just pinpoint a guy and be like, that guy can win a Super Bowl.
No, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
But does he give you a chance?
Yeah.
If you think the guy has a chance to be, forget winning a Super Bowl. Does this guy have a chance to be top 10, top 12?
All right, so
yeah.
before Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
would you have said that guy's a franchise quarterback?
I always thought he was held back by the Lions.
Okay.
So yes, I would have. Obviously, he's gotten even better with the Rams. He's gone
Yeah.
from like
You probably would have felt differently when he was in Detroit, but still, that guy is a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
right.
And a Hall of Fame quarterback before he won the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, regardless. Point being, it's very difficult to win a Super Bowl. It's difficult to even get to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow got there already.
Yeah.
And we love Joe Burrow. Can somebody be of that ilk? Then absolutely, you give up whatever it takes
Whatever.
for
Doesn't-
that play.
it doesn't matter what you
doesn't
need.
matter.
You find other ways
I
to
mean,
do it.
I can go back. We were wrong.
Yeah.
But at the time, we thought Carson Wentz gave the Browns a chance. Then they traded the picks away, and
Right.
then he went to Philly, and he was really good for a minute. Then just whatever happened there. But point being, I think the Browns probably at that point should have taken Carson Wentz because I thought he could give him that. Now, obviously, it's been proven
Right, yeah.
otherwise. But no, any of these guys, Mendoza, Dante Moore.
He had Simpson going back to school in this scenario.
Man, I read something really good about Simpson, or saw something.
People love Simpson.
Yeah, I like him too.
It's just a matter of whether it comes out. I'm 100% with lockstep with you,
Yeah.
Will. if you think that either Mendoza or Moore can be your franchise pillar at quarterback, you make the move. Now, I'm not 100% convinced. I haven't done my studies yet. I haven't dove into the tape on both those guys. I don't know how I feel on either one yet, if they're worthy of that level of commitment. But if the Browns believe that either Mendoza or Moore can be the guy, then you do everything in your power to go get him.
That's it.
And then you figure out the rest later. And we'll use the Titans as an example real quick. Cam Ward, if you look at just the statistics, Cam Ward's numbers are horrific this year. He has 7 touchdown passes in 12 games. He's been sacked 48 times. He looks lost.
Yeah.
If you go back and actually watch some of the throws he makes, you can see that there's something special in Cam Ward. And on a game-by-game basis, there may only be 2 or 3 plays a game, and he was horrific last week, by the way. He was horrific. I played him in fantasy. It was the worst decision I made all year. That's why I lost by 60 points.
What were you thinking?
I didn't like Brock Purdy against the Browns defense. I thought he had a better chance coming off a good game. But my point is,
if you bet on this game this weekend, you'll be holding your breath every time these quarterbacks drop back to pass. Both quarterbacks.
My point is, Cam Ward has shown flashes that you could say, okay, we can build around this guy.
Yeah.
Now we have the next couple of years while he's on a rookie contract to figure out his receivers, to figure out the offensive line, which it sucks, and we'll talk about that in a sec.
The Titans' talent on offense is worse than the Browns.
We can figure that out, but we have the guy to start it, which is the quarterback.
Yeah.
If you don't have the quarterback, you can have good weapons. Look at Minnesota. Jordan Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason's a pretty damn good stable of weapons. J.J. McCarthy's been an objective failure this year.
Yeah.
Max Brosmer was an absolute travesty at quarterback last year. Carson Wentz was in and out, and guess what? They still beat the Browns. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it just – but they have –
essentially JJ's rookie year.
Yeah, they have the weapons. And I'm not saying forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not saying McCarthy can't be good or whatever, but I'm saying right now they have weapons and no quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They have a terrible offense that just somehow put together a game-winning drive against the Browns in London. You look at other teams that have good weapons and have no quarterback. You need the quarterback. And I understand that they have holes and the questions about left tackle and receiver.
Everywhere.
It's valid. Like, those are all valid.
You can't solve all the problems at once. If you have a chance to get a quarterback, you get a quarterback in the conversation.
I could not agree more.
That's it.
I could not agree
Yes,
more.
they have to fill other holes. You fill them with the second-round pick, the first-round pick next year, free agency. You know, and if you say, well, the Browns are going to screw it up anyway, well, then it doesn't matter. So then what's the difference?
I'm in I hate agreeing with you because I like to argue with you, but in this sentiment, I'm in lockstep.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, I don't know. What do you think of Fernando Mendoza?
I mean, having a conversation with Bull?
Yeah,
it's always an argument.
That's a good point.
All right, what do you think of Fernando Mendoza? How much have you seen?
Tell you midnight on Saturday. I've watched him. I watched him play at Cal last year. I watched him play this year about 3 games. I watched him play Penn State. I watched him play Oregon. Bits and pieces of some other games. A little bit of that Purdue game on Friday.
Is he the best? Do you like him better than Moore and Simpson?
I'll tell you at midnight on Saturday. I want to see him against the Buckeyes defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him. I think he's a really good player.
Has he played against any good defenses?
Penn State and Oregon.
Oregon, Penn State, yeah. And, I mean, if you want to count some other Big Ten schools as decent defenses, sure, but I
like that they talk about, and again, they said some of these things about Dylan Gabriel, too, but they talk about how he's
super smart.
Very smart.
Yeah.
I want my quarterback to be smart, right?
He had
an important trait.
Did you guys see the clip he did with Urban Meyer?
No.
And I'm going to send you a clip. We could actually, it's one of the few things we could actually play. Hold on.
If it's on Twitter,
how to feel up a teenage
girl?
Stop.
Stop.
Am I stating facts? I mean, feeling up teenage girls.
Who?
Urban Meyer. Remember that video?
Teenage girls?
Or 20-year-olds, whatever.
Well, there's a big difference.
I have a funny story about that.
When you're as old as him, is it really
teenager makes it sound like you're a pedophile.
Well, I mean, if you're touching college students and you're the football coach and you're in your 60s, it's a little, that's...
Okay, that could be a little odd, but it's not against the law.
No, fair. Yeah, you're right.
Do you like, from what you've seen, do you like Dante more than Fernando Mendoza? No, because the sentiment was Moore was going to come back to Oregon. Yeah. But his offensive coordinator just accepted the head coaching job at Kentucky.
So why does he go to Kentucky?
Well, he's not going to transfer from Oregon to Kentucky.
No. Because Dan Lanning is his guy. He's going to stay at Oregon.
All right.
Or come out.
And Oregon will have the next hottest thing being their offensive coordinator next year.
It's coming. I like Mendoza. I'm concerned, and once again, I haven't done my full dive yet. Mendoza feels like he's got a pretty high floor. I just don't know what the ceiling is. If you're going to trade up and take a guy 1-1 overall, he's got to have a ceiling that is, and maybe he does, and I don't see it yet. Maybe
he wasn't great last year, right?
He was on a bad Cal team. He was good. People talked about him as a first-round pick coming into the season.
They had that. Didn't they have like a crazy win? Was it against Stanford
last year?
Yeah.
He had one game where he had monster. Yeah.
What are his measurables? Like
he's pretty big.
He's a big kid.
Big dude.
He just reminds me of Kirk Cousins. He looks like too much like.
He does look like Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't like Kirk Cousins enough.
That's part of the reason why I don't. I mean, I think Kirk's good.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
good. Like very good. I think you could have won. I mean, playoffs, yes. Super Bowl. Everything's got to go your way to win a Super Bowl, dude.
Yes, that's
injuries
true.
on the
You're
team.
right.
Like everything's got to go your way.
But the better the quarterback, the less the talent around them has to be great.
I think so.
Right.
I think so. But the funny thing is Mahomes is the best player in football, and they're a 500 team.
Is he? Well, he hasn't played the best this year.
Wouldn't you say he's the best quarterback in the NFL?
I'd say overall of the last few years, yes, but not. I don't think he's. I think Matthew Stafford's playing better than him right now.
Sure, but okay, so that it changes on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis?
I don't know about a day-to-day basis, but I mean a yearly basis. Don't you think Stafford's playing better than Mahomes?
Currently, yes.
Yeah.
Stafford's been the best quarterback in football.
But
yes,
the point,
you're asking me over the last 5 years who's the best quarterback? Yes.
You're sort of making my point because Mahomes, as great and much of a transcendent talent, right? They're mediocre.
Yeah, well, the Bengals were mediocre last year with Burrow playing the whole season last year, and the Bills aren't playing great. You know.
So the point is, just that one player doesn't guarantee you.
Of course not, but it sets you up with a floor that you're not doing this when you win in 3 games.
Right, and that's also the reason why if you got somebody of the Kirk that was Kirk Cousins and that was it, a mold of Kirk Cousins, the Browns would not be winning 3 games a year.
No,
they'd be 9-10 a year.
Right. Yeah, but if you have a Kirk Cousins, you got to also get it right around them.
Sure,
like, he's not carrying the team.
If we had like prime Kirk Cousins with this team, we'd be the favorites to win the Super Bowl right now. With this
team?
With this defense?
No.
Well, maybe a couple. Maybe a different receiver.
Maybe
but
the 2023 Browns with Kirk Cousins when you had Amari Cooper who was still confident.
Maybe not the favorites to win the Super Bowl, but they'd probably be winning this division right now.
They'd have a chance.
If they had a halfway competent offense, even with the weapons this year, they'd be division
Cousins
favorites.
with Judkins and even these slappies on the outside, he'd probably find a way to get the ball to him.
Part of the reason Judy sucks this year is because the quarterback play. That factors in. I know it's easy to just
plays
pile
a
on
role,
him.
but it's not the reason.
It plays a role. I mean, the guy even in Denver was a decent wide receiver.
Yeah.
He was a serviceable wide receiver. He's been crazy bad this year. It doesn't fit with the rest of his career. You got that video, Anthony?
A social news desk will not let me put anything.
We got nothing
today,
on
so
social.
Mike, you're gonna have to describe it.
It's just he was on the Triple Threat podcast that Urban Meyer does.
Yeah.
And Urban asked him to break down some sequence. And he did it off memory, kind of like, how Sean McVay does that sometimes. Yeah. And Urban's face is Fernando Mendoza is reciting every defensive player's movement. He's like.
So Urban was very impressed by Mendoza.
Urban.
It's hard to impress Urban.
If Mendoza plays great against Ohio State, win or lose, even if let's say it's Ohio State wins 28-24, Mendoza plays great, but Ohio State.
I can't believe the spread's only 4.5. It's come down.
Yeah.
I mean, they did go to Oregon and beat Oregon
ESPN's
in Oregon.
Analytics that does the simulations on the game has it as a 50-50 prediction.
That's not right. It's just
Is Mendoza, do they have any 5-star talent besides him?
We need Tyvis Powell here because he knows the Indiana roster inside and out.
It's a couple of guys that at least I know, and this is honestly from watching 2 games and also playing the college football game to see some of the rankings. But their running back, Roman Hemby, was a transfer from Maryland. He's one of the highest recruited transfer running backs in the country. They have a defensive end, Mikhail Kamara, something like that, who was another highly recruited transfer.
Alvin's brother.
No, I mean maybe actually. I don't know.
Making that up.
And they have one defensive back that followed Signetti from JMU. Pond, who's D'Angelo Pond, who's going to be a 2nd-round draft pick, 3rd-round draft pick.
Signetti's a cocky son of you know what.
He's backed it up.
I would say confident.
Yeah.
He's backed it up.
A little arrogant at times, but he's back. But he's backed. First 12-0 team ever in Indiana history.
I hear
They've lost 2 games.
To win 12 games in Indiana?
You're right.
At Indiana, yeah.
Fair.
Number 2 in the country?
They got smoked in the playoffs last year.
We're talking about this year, Adam.
Okay.
He took over last year and had Indiana, who was an absolute disaster.
I don't want to sit here and stroke the guy.
Yeah.
Because they're playing the Buckeyes this week. But what he did last year, and then to come back the next year
after
you lost the quarterback.
You got to win when it matters. Now you got to win when it matters.
Well, they need to win. They need to win.
They need to win the playoff
They're
game.
not gonna, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Knock on wood. I hope.
I mean, last year Ohio State spanked them.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
Right.
At home.
Right. What do you think the crowd's going to be for this game?
50-50.
55,
It's
40.
in Indiana.
55-45 Indiana.
You know, not at their
It's
home
a
stadium.
2.5 hour drive from Columbus, dude.
Right. And we know Ohio State fans travel better than any fan base.
Yeah.
It'll maybe even a little bit more Buckeyes, but
Yeah.
they'll have a good.
But it won't
crowd.
be a huge advantage.
Well, the other thing too is a lot of times the Big Ten title game when it's in Indy doesn't always sell out. I mean, there's usually tickets available because, like, let's say it was
Iowa, Minnesota.
Purdue, Ohio State.
Yeah, but with Ohio State
Right.
in it,
Yeah, but still, like they're not like if Ohio State were playing Purdue,
yeah.
it's not people aren't driving to Indy to watch that
But
game.
for this game, both teams undefeated.
No, the game's sold out.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
won't be a seat to be had.
Right.
But
I'm
the
excited.
point is, there will be a good contingency of Indiana fans.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little more preview of the Indiana game tomorrow.
Good.
So
All right, let's get a couple of super chats in here, Anthony, before we move on to our next
Mid-show
topic.
super chats.
Let me pull them up real quick.
All right, pull
Our
'em up.
first one
Yeah.
comes from Eddie Everhart, who also did just tag us, and he's a top 0.3% on
That
YouTube.
is not a surprise.
Shout out to
Top
Eddie.
point
Yeah.
Over
three.
500 videos of ours watched.
500?
Something like that, like 540. He tagged us all on Twitter if you guys want to take a
Yeah,
look.
Eddie,
Shout out to Eddie.
I mean, when I think of our fan base, Eddie is like one of the first guys I think of.
Jeff's bookshelf is also up there. With
He's the
over 400.
die-hardest of the die-hard.
Eddie's top
Would
0.1%,
he be part of the Animal House Twitter posse?
540.
Okay.
100%.
Shout out to Eddie. It's our guy.
Shout out, Eddie.
Eddie sent in a
Eddie's
super
good
chat.
man.
He says, I think people cheered when Watson got hurt, not because he was hurt, but because it finally forced them to pull him off the field and then go Bucks this Saturday.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
I do think some people cheered when he got hurt.
I think it's
Well, whatever. You
sadly
know,
50-50.
you could argue that if he did what he's accused of, then you could understand why people would cheer. I don't like that personally, but whatever. It was every time something like that happens in a stadium, it's like the whole stadium was doing this. No, it wasn't.
It's just-
In that moment, they're not thinking about the player as
Right.
a person. They're thinking
Yeah.
about the team and like,
Yeah.
oh, well, we're going to get this guy's going to come in, or
Yeah.
we may be better, or they're going to be worse, or whatever it may be.
Exactly.
It's
It's a bad
more about
situation.
All right, next one.
Daniel says, keep Sanders, trade the 26 first-round position for a first round in 27, draft O-line receivers in the upcoming draft. Looking for saying in upcoming years, keep pushing first round down the line.
You think Sayan's going to be an NFL quarterback?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh God, yeah.
He looks the part.
Dude, I think he's the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen play for Ohio State.
So you think he's way better than Will Howard?
I think he will be.
Okay.
I think he will be. I mean,
Was
he's a
he
young
true
player.
freshman, or
He's a
was he-
redshirt freshman.
Redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a number one overall recruit coming out of
Yeah,
high
this
school.
kid's a baller, dude.
How tall is he?
He's like 6'2".
Yeah,
The arm strength's
he's
the one
over.
kind
He's
now.
over 6'2".
Yeah. Well, Rogers is like 6'2".
You could be 6'2's fine.
6'2's fine.
6'2's
As long as you're not like 6'1" or 6 foot something.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
if you-
Baker's 6'1".
If you're
Barely 6'1".
If you're 6'2" and super skinny, but Sayan's not. He's decent.
Yeah,
decently
yeah.
Size, and he's
built
going to
guy.
add.
All right.
He's going to add muscle.
Yeah, he's still young. He's 20 years
Listen,
old.
Ohio State quarterbacks have
Got a
not had
great-
much luck in the NFL.
Great head of hair on that kid, man.
Yeah.
Man,
That's
got
true.
He's got some
All
locks.
right, we'll do two more before the ad
Yeah.
read. Heidelberg says, "Bull, you have to draft O-line and weapons if you're going to keep rooting rookie QBs. If you don't."
That's not true.
And then Big says,
You can
gotta-
all what I don't understand when people say these things. It's like they're not. I understand you have to give up something to get them. The Browns have what? And I know some of them are late picks, but the Browns have
Like 13 picks.
13
this year.
picks in this draft.
It's something.
So let's say they trade 2 to get 1. So you'll still have 12 picks in this draft.
They're not making 12 picks for the record.
Right. So they'll trade up. They'll do other things. Like there's free agency. There's other ways to get other players. I get it. The Browns have done a bad job on offense, but you never pass on a quarterback because you need other things. Never. If you need a quarterback, it doesn't matter if you're like, well, the team around them is not good enough yet. Okay, well, if you have a chance, you never know when you're going to get the chance again to get a good quarterback. You don't wait.
Well, in the same vein, Bigger Vex Press says, you guys have a QB, you need wide receivers and an O-line. Cleveland media sounds just like that horrible Browns organization.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys, we're going to move on and talk some Myles Garrett breaking the sack record. But before we do, the holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on, and you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction. Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap, it's a way to share memories. Because Aura isn't just your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it, so when they plug it in, the memories are already there. There's no apps to figure out. There's no setup headaches. It's just instant smiles. It's a holiday gift that actually gets used and not forgotten in a drawer. And for a limited time right now, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames rated #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code LOCKEDON. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply.
Guys, we had Leroy Hoard on earlier, and I asked him the question, do you think Myles Garrett can break the record, the sack record, not only the season, but this week? You're playing the worst team in football. They have the worst offensive line. They've allowed the most sacks. Myles Garrett has 19 sacks already. He's had 3 or more sacks, 3 times? Or twice?
He had a 3-sack game, a 4-sack game, and a 5-sack game.
Right, that's true.
In his last
3 or more
5
sacks,
games.
now you need 4, but in the last 6 weeks, he's had 3 games where he's had 3 or more sacks.
And he's breaking this record.
This week?
I don't know about this week, but he's breaking the record.
He's breaking it.
Unless he can't play.
Right. Now, you wonder the injury to
Collins.
To Malik Collins, how much, because Leroy's right. The fact that the guys around him have played so well have made him even better. And Malik Collins has been the best
This
guy.
is the week where he's got to get at least 2 sacks.
Yeah.
No doubt. Take advantage of a game against a rookie quarterback. They don't have a great offensive line.
Right, it's by far the worst offensive team you're playing.
Yes.
If you look at the offensive line numbers for Tennessee, they've given up 48 sacks in 12 games, which is an average of 4 sacks per game, by the way, which ironically is exactly how many Myles Garrett needs. Each person on their starting offensive line has allowed multiple sacks this season. Their 2 tackles have allowed, Dan Moore's allowed 8 sacks. Their right tackle's allowed 7 sacks.
I can't believe they paid that guy. He's so bad. Well, and Myles Garrett has killed him
in the past.
When he was on the Steelers.
Yep. Do you remember the PFF grades when we used to do that?
He had like a 9.
He had it was a 3. He had a 3 PFF grade in pass block against Myles Garrett. And to add even more, I'm going to give away one of my 5 stats of the week. Yeah, you can see J.C. Latham, who's their 2nd-round pick, also on the right.
I didn't even know Zeitler was on that.
Has been bad. Yeah, each of them, their offensive linemen, it's been bad.
Yeah.
Cam Ward has a 26.2 pressure to sack rate. So 1 out of every 4 times that Cam Ward is pressured, he ends up taking a sack.
Yeah.
That's tied with Geno Smith for the highest pressure to sack rate in the entire NFL.
And he sacked Geno 3 times.
3 times against Geno. Geno's offensive line, which isn't good, is significantly better than Tennessee's.
You said that so weird.
Significantly better. Every syllable there was enunciated. I don't know why I did that.
Like Stephen A. Smith a little bit right there.
Dramatic pause here.
Breath smelling like Similac.
It's going to be a disaster for Cam Ward. It's going to be an utter disaster for Cam Ward.
As bad as the Raiders are, and they're terrible, like the Raiders got better talent everywhere on offense.
Better running back, better receivers, better tight ends.
I don't even know. Who is the Titans' leading receiver? It's their tight end, right?
Chigog Kawankuru, or however
he probably has less yards than
no, not him.
How many yards does he have, Anthony?
We built the stat
up the stats right now.
And we had a stat graphic for him.
Does he have as many yards as Harold Fannin?
406? No, he does not.
So the leading receiver is a tight end it's not a rookie or anything. He's been in the league a few years with 406 yards. Is their leading rusher Tony Pollard?
It is.
With like 350 yards?
Something like that. And Tajay Spears just came back.
Yeah.
He hasn't been great. He's actually been better in the receiving game than he's been.
They are hot. It's hard to be worse than the Browns on offense. The Titans clearly are.
They did have Calvin Ridley. He's out for the season.
Right. But he hasn't been good the last couple of years anyway.
They let Tyler Lockett go. Those are the 2 veteran receivers they had. They're both out of here.
They're hideous.
It's an utter cluster, you know what.
And here's the thing. This is the game. Some people say, well, the Browns stink, so it does, Myles Garrett, and there's not a lot of pressure or whatever. I think that's bogus. But the Browns being bad is actually a disadvantage to Myles Garrett because other pass rushers, if you're on a good team, right, if you're Right. All the good pass rushers are on bad teams that I can think of. Who's a good pass rusher on a good team?
Nick Bonito, Denver.
Okay, Nick Bonito on Denver. Well, Nick Bonito on Denver, there's going to be a lot of games where his team is winning because they're good. So the other team's got to throw the ball. How often are the Browns in that situation where the other team has to throw the ball? Well, not very often.
When they beat Green Bay this year, they weren't winning till the final whistle.
Right. The
so
Miami
that was never.
Game.
They were up in Miami.
And last week.
And
that
Vegas.
was about it.
Yeah.
Not last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's about it. Now, this is the last game where they're likely to be, or it's the game they're most likely to be up, maybe even significantly up. So the second half of this game, hopefully Tennessee's down 10, 13, 14 points, and they got to throw a lot, and that allows Myles Garrett to tee off because I'd be stunned if he didn't get at least 2 sacks in this game. Stunned.
I agree.
And I think he could get, if you had to bet, Myles Garrett gets 4 sacks in this game or 0.
4.
Would you bet 4?
100%.
I would go.
Have you ever thought of that in your life?
How high could I put that number where you would take the number over 0? If I said 6,
I'd probably go 0 over 6.
5.
No, I think I'd take 4 is the sweet spot.
4 is probably the number.
4 is the sweet spot.
5 is just like 6. How many guys have had 6 sacks in a game? It's almost never happened.
It's happened a couple times.
Derek Thomas had 7 once.
5's only happened 20 times. He did it against Drake May.
Right. Even 5 is,
I think 4 and 0 is that'd get people to take both sides. 50-50.
Yes. Absolutely. Because if you did 1, then you'd go with the 1.
Yeah. I mean, 3 would be overwhelming to people to say 3
100%.
over 0. Yeah.
But if the Titans are just so bad that this is it. Like, he's going to you got to figure he's going to have at least 2 minimum.
The Browns need to lose this game, man.
They need to lose? Yeah. You don't care about culture building?
I mean, I would like them to play well and lose the game.
Why? So they can get a better draft pick?
Yes.
But either way, they're going to have to trade. Like, they're not going to end up, well, I guess if they lost to the Titans.
If they lose this game,
the
it's
Titans
on the
have
table.
what?
They're 1-11.
Titans have the number 1 overall pick right now.
Yeah, but the Browns have 4 wins.
They have 3.
Oh, 3 wins. Yeah, not 4.
So if they lose this game,
yeah, they could go 3
Put the
14.
Titans to 2-11.
Right. The Titans going to win another game?
I don't know. I hope so.
who knows?
Who are they playing?
They have probably division teams coming up. I know they still have to play Jacksonville again. No, they played Jacksonville twice. They still have to play Indy at least one more time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you never know. I mean,
It puts you if the Browns win.
Saints, they can win that game.
That's a possibility.
They play. So they finish up Niners, Chiefs, Saints, Jags.
Yeah, the Saints is the only other game they would have a shot to win.
I could put them to 3.
Right, but how the tiebreaker goes based on strength of schedule. Whoever's got an easier strength of schedule.
Point is, if the Browns win, they're basically out of the running for the first overall pick.
They're probably not going to get the first overall.
I'm saying if they win, then we can put that.
Well, the Giants. So what do we got? We got the Giants with 2 wins.
2 wins.
The Jets have 2.
Jets have 3 now. Jets have won 3 of the last 5.
I still can't believe the Bengals lost that game to them. So the Jets have 3 wins. How many wins do the Saints have? 3?
2.
Where are the Browns right now? 5?
5.
So who else is ahead of them? In the draft
It was
order?
the Raiders.
The Raiders, the Giants.
The Saints.
The Saints. Even though they're tied. All right.
Just based off, and I'm going off what Brugler did in his mock.
Yeah.
But it would have been Tennessee, the Giants,
right?
New Orleans.
Didn't Tennessee
Vegas,
and the Giants go 1-2 last year?
1-3. The Browns had their second pick last year.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's right. They traded Jack. So the Giants didn't take Dart with the 3rd pick?
Abdullah Carter, who's been a bust.
Oh, God.
It's kind of funny. It just goes to show you how unpredictable the draft is.
Yeah.
The 2 blue chip can't miss, undeniable generational prospects in the draft last year were Travis Hunter and Abdullah Carter.
Well, Hunter got hurt. That's not fair. He wasn't doing
much.
But he had his best game right before he got hurt.
And I'm not saying he's not going to be good, and I don't think Abdullah Carter doesn't have a chance to be good. I still am very high on both those guys down the road, but Mason Graham's been better than both those 2. Carson Schlesinger's been better than both those 2. Quinshon Judkins been better than both those. I'm just naming Browns guys right now. There's a lot of rookies. Jackson Dart has been better than anyone's taken. So it goes to show you the draft, even the guys that are quote-unquote surefire can't miss guys.
Mm-hmm. That's why you can't judge drafts based on mock drafts, and that's what everybody does. People that say they don't do that are 100% doing that. And that's why the whole process is just so stupid. All right, Anthony, go ahead.
We're
we got
going
some
to
super
talk
chats?
Yeah, you want to do
a couple
super chats before we do a
before we
read?
move on, yeah.
Let me pull up some super chats.
Yeah, we want to get
for
them
you
all
guys.
done before Abdullah comes in, so we can
Yeah.
hold Abdullah to the end of the show. So when we're doing super chats, we're doing them now. We will not do them at the end of the show. So if you have more super chats, send them in ASAP so we can read them before we bring Abdullah.
We will not read any super chats after 12:30. So go ahead.
We got 3 here, guys. Brody's bottom line says he's the 37th ranked QB in passing. I'm not sure who he's referring to. It might be Mendoza.
It's got to be Mendoza. Yeah.
And then Brody also says college stats don't count, but he has 7K less yards than Sanders.
College stats don't matter.
And then Emmanuel Johnson says some takes seem unfair. Shador went 27-45, 358 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 2 starts. Similar to Dart, no camp reps, yet people judge him like a vet who had full rep.
Nobody's judging him like a vet.
No.
That's just bullshit. I mean, come on, stop it. He has the same numbers as Dart?
If you look at their first 2 starts,
he
has similar numbers to Jackson Dart.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not. You got to watch.
If you look at the first 2 starts,
you can't just look at numbers.
If you look at the first 2 starts, Dylan Gabriel better numbers than Sanders. The stats are irrelevant when he did it. It's all about what the eye test tells you. Look at the eyes.
All right, go ahead, Anthony.
That's it. So I'm going to toss it to Mike here for an Ultimate Cavs promo because he and Jason did a show this morning.
We did it yesterday, not this morning, but there is a new Ultimate Cavs show on the YouTube
Anthony
channel.
screwed that up 2 days in a row.
There is a new Ultimate Cavs show on the channel. Jason and I talked about Jalen Tyson's comments. We talked about whether or not the Cavs are relying too much on Donovan Mitchell, and if at this point of the season the Cavs are playing basketball even remotely that resembles a team that can win a championship. So you can find that on our YouTube
the answer
page.
is no.
You have to find out if me and Jason agree with you, and we do. About that, it is on our YouTube channel. It was not yesterday, it is today, but we appreciate Ant for giving us a little extra promo. Go click it.
I try. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
All right, so Andrew. So we had Mary Kay Cabot and Ross Tucker have both said in the last week. Actually, Mary Kay said it 2 weeks
Twice.
in a row.
Yeah.
And Ross said it last week. Essentially, they think it would be crazy to fire Andrew Berry because he's done a great job in this draft. Go ahead, Mike. What do you think? You agree with them or no?
I could not disagree more.
Ooh.
Now, I agree with the fact that this rookie class that you see on your screen right here was a home run. Mason Graham's been very good. Carson Schlesinger has been very good. He's the favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He might be the best rookie in football this season thus far. Quinshon Judkin's been awesome. Harold Fannon's been a home run. Dylan Sampson, he's been okay. He's had some moments. We don't know exactly what we have in the quarterbacks yet. But to say Andrew Berry should be safe, despite the team's lack of success because of one good draft, to me is just incredibly, incredibly short-sighted. And, Steve, I need the camera for this one. What are the 3 positions the Browns need most? Quarterback, receiver, and offensive line. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Right? Sure. So if we're going to give Andrew Berry the runway to take on another high draft pick, 2 first-rounders in this draft, with the needs of quarterback, receiver, and offensive line, do you want to go through Andrew Berry's track record of quarterbacks, receivers, and offensive linemen he has drafted as the general manager of the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, they're terrible.
It is horrific. So the 3 positions this team needs most, quarterback, receiver, and offensive line, in whatever order you want to say, you're going to trust the guy that took Jed Wills in the first round, passed over Tristan Wirfs. His receivers, Anthony Schwartz, David Bell, Cedric Tillman. I'm sure I'm missing some other guys in the mix, but none of them have panned out because the Browns don't have any receivers to show for, and the quarterbacks they've drafted. The book is still not out on Shador and Dillon. They may turn out to be good, they may not, who knows. But the other guys, DTR, Deshaun Watson, objective failures. So no, one good draft, it is great to have it in your back pocket, but it does not erase all the subpar drafts, questionable free agent decisions, cap management that has been good at certain times and maybe not so good at others. And you can look at certain contracts that have proven to be really smart, and then you can look at the other ones like Dustin Hopkins, which was just an absolute catastrophe. No, he shouldn't be safe after one draft, especially when the needs of this team and of this offense are in 3 of his biggest blind spots, if not his 3 biggest blind spots. So no, spare me with the, Andrew Berry deserves to do it again because he just hit, when the 3 positions he has to hit on are 3 positions he has yet to hit on yet in his entire tenure as the Browns general manager. So no, well, I think it's frankly kind of ludicrous that they say he's 100% surefire safe based off one good draft when the track record of his draft say the positions that they need most are 3 positions he clearly has a blind spot in.
This to me feels like keeping a coach because he won the last couple of games. You have to look at the entire body of work and feel like this guy is going to lead you to the promised land. I don't believe that he is. I don't like his track record with players. I mean, this has really been his only good draft, and it's only been 1 year. So, like, all these guys, we're assuming the players that have played well this year are going to continue this for the rest of their career. They might not. So far, it looks great. I give him that. It looks great. But I'm not keeping him because of this 1 year. I would move on because I don't trust him to draft quarterback.
So I understand where they're coming from. I think in their perspective, it's like, well, you didn't fire him last year.
Yeah.
So if you didn't fire him last year, he's improved, right? This was his best year. So if you didn't fire him after he'd been terrible, why would you now fire him after a sixth year? And I would say both of you made good points. It's like, oh man, we were going to fire this coach, but a nice little.
It's like the Mangini thing when Mangini had that run at the end of the year,
and
they
then
kept
it wipes
him.
out everything else you know. And so, yeah, first of all, let's wait another year or two before we find out exactly how good this draft is, right? I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But we got it. And
they draft an offensive lineman or a receiver in that class.
You have on offense right now, outside of I guess the Titans, that's probably it. Maybe the Raiders, but I don't even think so. The Jets, okay.
But they have Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson, so probably not.
You have less skill. You have less talent, period, on offense than any team. You're right there with it's like the Raiders, Jets, and Browns are like this, and then the Titans are below. When you took over this team 6 years ago, right, you had a good offensive line. The Browns had a good offensive line. Mm-hmm. They had a good quarterback who argued. I wanted him out of town after 4 years. Listen, a lot of us did. But he was a good quarterback. Not great. He's played better there in Tampa, obviously. We know the whole Baker story. Bottom line is they're not better at that position. They're probably, will they be better at tight end having Harold Fannin over David Njoku? Probably, but, I don't, by a lot? I don't know. We'll see. They're way worse at wide receiver. We all love Quinshon Judkins. Is he going to be Nick Chubb? I don't know. He's probably going to be good. But overall, yeah, have you gotten better on defense? Sure. You've gotten better on defense. But even then, when you had Myles Garrett and you had Denzel Ward. Those are still your two best players.
Yep.
I get it. You've added some good players, especially this year. I'm not going to give the guy a 0. But I look at the track record of 6 drafts, 6 free agent classes, and I see an offense, I see a defense that is being completely wasted because the talent is so bad. It literally doesn't matter how good the Browns defense is because it cannot be overcome by the ineptitude of the offense. And every wide receiver the Browns have made a move for in the Andrew Berry era, except he traded for Amari Cooper.
It's a good deal.
Which was a good deal. And then and then besides that, you traded for Elijah Moore, terrible. Everything else you've done in the draft and free agency wide receiver has been bad. Everything you've done in the draft and free agency and offensive line, they signed Pocic.
Pocic was a good signing.
That was a good signing.
Good signing.
Everything else besides that, but Pocic is now done, and you haven't replaced him. Everything else you've done is terrible.
They drafted Zach Zinter, who's a healthy scratch every week, by the way.
Right.
Every single week.
I could pick and choose a couple of things you did okay. You still screwed up in this draft. I know you can't be perfect, but the Dylan Gabriel pick is outrageous that you wasted a top 100 pick.
It's a great point.
Wasted a top 100 pick.
Point.
I get it. Listen, I mean, the Mason Graham thing looks like a really good pick and a smart move. That trade. That looks
Carson's
great.
a great pick.
Carson Schlesinger.
Judkins, great
is
pick.
Fantastic. Maybe not fair, but with the Judkins thing, everybody knew Judkins was going to be good. Like that, I'm not going over the top.
The top 4 picks are objective wins. Like that is
those
are
doubt
unquestioned wins.
We got to see more from Fannin to see how big a win he is, but ultimately he was a 3rd-round pick, right?
He's a player. You got a player at a 3rd-round pick, a starter, yeah.
So and the rest, I get it. The rest of the picks are late outside of Gabriel. But the Gabriel pick was terrible. So, yeah, he got the first 4 picks right. All due credit to me, it's not enough to save his job because he didn't. What it looks like he did at quarterback is not enough. Far from it. He has not fixed the offensive line. He's not fixed the wide receiver, and he is wasting one of the greatest players in the history of the sport in Myles Garrett's career.
If G. Bush was here today, and by the way, G. Bush is also going to be off again tomorrow. He's still dealing with his family stuff. So, G, we're thinking of you, man. Your family's in our prayers. I would ask G, do you trust Andrew Berry to draft a quarterback? And he would say,
we don't need a quarterback. We got Shedeur Sanders.
He would say no.
He would say,
he would say that, but he would say no.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, G, would you trust Andrew Berry to draft a receiver? He would say
no.
I say, hey, G, if you trusted Andrew Berry to draft an offensive lineman, he would say, those are the 3 things you need this offseason, so why would he be the one that you trust to finally get it right after 6 years of a track record of him not getting it right? Now, people change. People make mistakes. You can get better at evaluating. You can get better at picking and choosing. I'm not saying he'll never be able to.
He would.
Maybe he would. Exactly.
But I'm not taking that chance.
But this is a draft where you have 2 first-round picks, and Jacksonville may end up winning the division. Right now, in that Brugler
that
mock,
pick's not going to be high.
It was a 26th pick.
Yeah.
Like, it's a high pick because the Browns stink, and then a Jaguars somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah.
You got to get, if you're not going to trade up for a quarterback, like, you have to get 2 stalwarts on the offensive side of the football in this draft. And I just ask anyone out there, anyone watching right now, tell me why you would trust Andrew Berry based on what he's done over the last 6 years to make those 2 selections and make the right selections.
Right. Even if it's not quarterback and you're going to take a wide receiver and a tackle. I don't trust him.
Now, if it was pick a defensive end or a cornerback, I'd say sure. You know what? He's proven to be able to find guys late in the draft. Maybe with the higher picks, he'll find some studs at those picks. But he just has no track record.
I wouldn't trust him on that either.
He's got no track record at these 2. I just don't trust him with that responsibility. I can't get over that fact.
Yeah.
I can't.
And
if you do, tell me why you would.
The Bengals GM, whose name is escaping me right now, he's had a couple of good drafts. He's been their GM forever. And he's had a couple of years where he's drafted well. He sucks. He sucks. He don't know what he's doing. But he got it right a couple of times. Yeah. The sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while.
Burrow and Higgins. Chase was a great
Blind
pick.
squirrel, man. Blind squirrel finds him every once in a while.
Andrew Berry, you got to look over the long haul. And over the long haul, Andrew Berry's done more bad than good.
And real quick, I don't know if you put this in the
Now, I'm firing them both. I can't keep one. And
no, I'm with you.
They're both gone.
Real quick survey. What is the chat? Are they... I don't know if you put a poll up.
You didn't put a poll?
I didn't put a poll up, but I can do a quick 5-minute one. I actually have some super chats related to this, though. If you guys
Wasn't there a poll on the trade?
The trade, 72% said no.
I told you it wouldn't be quite.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, go ahead.
Real quick, Track says, so when we finally get our stuff together, drafting, now is when you want AB fired. Make it make sense.
I've wanted him fired for 3 years.
Explained it very, we made it, you may not agree, but okay, go ahead.
I just read the chats. James may say, Dustin, how long have you worked on that Stephen A. impression? And then Mesh says, now you guys want Barry out because he's a Sanders guy.
The Stephen A. impression it goes back to Bull and Fox days. It was something he did. It was just an easy one.
Yeah.
He's like, breath smelling like Similac.
I don't remember what that was in relation to.
I have no idea.
Can we address the last super chat?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
When did Andrew Berry become a Shedeur guy? I thought all season we were saying he was Jimmy Haslam's pick, and everybody was saying that Kevin and Andrew didn't want him. Now all of a sudden Andrew's a Shedeur guy, and that's why we want him gone? I want to know if that guy smoked crack before he sent you that message. I think it's entirely possible.
If he super chats in, I'll let you know.
I've been saying Andrew Berry should be fired for years.
Yeah.
Listen, in a perfect world, Shedeur Sanders plays great the final month of the season, and the Browns don't feel the need to draft a quarterback. That's the perfect scenario. You don't want to have to. You hope you found one.
Yeah.
But odds are that's not going to be the case in reality. So you live in whatever you want to live. I'm living in reality. And and Andrew Berry overall has done a terrible job as GM. How could you debate that?
I also think it's funny that that topic we just did.
Yeah.
I gave a little soliloquy on why I think I don't trust Andrew Berry. Dustin gave, and it was different than mine. And then you gave one different. We had just spent 15 minutes explaining, maybe in more detail and depth than we've got into like any specific topic in a long, long time.
Right.
And it gets boiled down to simply, we don't like Shedeur Sanders.
Right. Right, that's why you want Berry. Any more?
No, but for the record, he did shoot a message. He said, we're the ones smoking crack for wanting Andrew Berry fired. So there you go.
All right, well, maybe so.
We are.
64%.
Maybe I did smoke crack.
Maybe so.
Maybe I just can't remember that I did.
Maybe so.
Hey,
that what that
and
smell
put
was?
it in the poll.
I think you remember.
Do you trust Andrew Berry to draft a receiver, quarterback, or offensive lineman?
Okay, real quick, but
yes or
would
no?
you keep AB? 63% say yes, 37% say no. I will start that next poll.
I'm shocked. Shocked. Wow. If you keep AB, it means you're keeping Stefanski too.
Not necessarily.
I don't think they could keep one and not
They
the
could.
other.
I think they could keep Berry and fire Stefanski more than if you fire.
If you're bringing one back, you're bringing them both back, though.
I don't think that's
I feel
definitely
like
the case. I would do that, but I'd fire them both. But
I would
I
too.
don't think the Browns have to do that.
I think Haslam looks at them as a legit tandem. Whether that's right or wrong, we'll find out. But I think he sees them as tied to the hip.
Yeah,
I'd rather fire both.
I know, but
I'd
you
start
don't know.
clean.
You're just guessing. We're all just guessing.
No,
so
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
From my perception of everything I've heard about
It could change though.
those two in the organization, they're tied to the hip. It certainly could be wrong.
So this is really interesting. They 64% is what I said.
Yeah.
Said they would keep him. Well, now we have 56% don't trust him to do the draft. So pick a side, guys.
I told you.
Well, you said specifically quarterback, wide receiver, and offensive line, but that's what the Browns need to draft.
I mean, can you imagine if they took a defensive player with like the 4th pick?
Oh my God!
They took Arvell Reese or Caleb Downs, who are awesome, by the way.
Yeah, that would be.
With the
and I
fourth
generally believe you draft the best player. Don't worry about position unless
it's quarterback.
But I mean, at this point, you can't keep taking defensive players. You got to.
Yeah.
I can't find it hard to believe you wouldn't have an offensive.
Caleb Downs is probably the best defensive player in this
Do you think
draft,
he's a better
anything.
prospect than Arvell Reese?
Yeah, I do.
Carnell Tate. I didn't know he was going to be such a high pick. Is that because he's an Ohio State guy? I mean, is that factoring in now at this point?
He's been
because
awesome
all these
this
guys
year.
have been excellent.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's developed by the best wide receiver coach in America.
So the Browns could take Carnell Tate if let's say Shedeur Sanders is fantastic.
Yeah.
And we're moving forward with Shedeur Sanders. You could take Tate with the 5th pick. No?
Yeah, or if
That's what Brugler was saying.
Or I mean, this is kind of crazy to think about, but what if the Browns decided to give Shedeur next year, and they took Tate or someone of that ilk, because they're thinking we don't love the quarterbacks in this draft, and the quarterbacks in 27.
You know what you could do?
27.
Now you're stretching, Dustin.
That's
Now
Every time
you're
I hear
stretching.
7,
You could draft Tate. You could draft the best offensive lineman at 27, and then you trade your 2nd-round pick to the Eagles for A.J. Brown.
I love A.J. Brown.
So you have 2 receivers now.
So you'd have Tate and Brown. You draft a tackle in the late 1st-round pick. You draft another offensive lineman in the 3rd-round pick, and you spend some free agent money. And then
So are we dealing with the Dillon versus Shedeur quarterback battle in camp again next year?
Dylan, I get rid of. I get it.
And they would bring in some sort of
Mac
a veteran.
Jones?
Yeah. Whatever. Maybe I don't know. I guess.
Ken Carman's been screaming for Mac Jones. That's his.
Ken, shut up, man.
So has Tyvus, I think.
Huh?
Tyvus keeps bringing up Mac Jones too.
Mac Jones. Come on, that guy's no long-term answer.
Mac Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Do you know who
I
that
got
is?
2 more
Bull?
super chats.
All
here
right, 2
for
more
you
super
guys.
chats. That's from a song, right?
Yeah, he knows
Yeah.
because I've been
Mike
doing it to him
Jones.
for 10 years.
Yeah. Go ahead.
A. Snyder says Barry would have never survived in an organization that actually has standards. We need to expect better as Browns fans. And then
true.
Clutch says, I think at this point you have to let it ride with the coach and GM for at least another year.
Why?
Why?
He didn't support his argument. That was all the chat said.
Ride, let it ride. Gonna let it ride. Gonna let it ride. I don't have to do. No, why do I have to do that? I mean,
There's a chance they win 6 games in 2 years. Why would you
yeah.
run that back? Why?
We've gone to 51% say they they trust Andrew Barry with those draft picks. And to
wild.
That means there's
49% say
49%
no.
liars.
I guess it's either one of 2 things. They think he's kind of learned after 5 years of sucking, or they bought into Jay Crawford's insane conspiracy theory that it was Paul DePodesta making all the bad picks, and that Paul DePodesta, even though he was still here, was all of a sudden out of the mix for this draft, and Andrew Barry was able to show his genius.
Or they just genuinely believe that Barry was the one that stood on the table for Shedeur, and because Barry drafted Shedeur.
But why would
he
anybody
deserves it
believe
again.
that? But when nobody believed that until
I don't know.
just today,
I don't know.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, but Big Ever Express just super chatted in and said AB deserves to keep his job just for drafting Sanders.
I mean, maybe. Like, we'll find out.
By the way, if I did find out that Jay's crazy conspiracy theory
was right,
then I would not fire Andrew Berry.
Fair.
If Paul DePodesta was the one making the picks, and all of a sudden this year was Berry, then yes, I would keep Andrew Berry because then his track record's only 1 year. However, I think that's a load of crap like most conspiracy theories.
Friend of the show, Evan419, just texted me. He said, what first-round receiver or quarterback has Andrew Berry drafted? Hit rate on third-rounders around the league is pretty bad league-wide. Not saying I trust him, but I don't know if it's fair to hold his third through sixth-round hit rate on quarterbacks and receivers against him if he goes wide receiver or quarterback in round 1.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe he should have taken one in the first round.
he did take a quarterback in the first round, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
He also took Anthony Schwartz over Amon-Ra St. Brown, which it's kind of tough.
Well, and Anthony Schwartz
basically fast.
Ruined your number 1 pick in Baker Mayfield.
He was fast.
I wonder what the hit percentage is on third-round wide receivers.
To Evan's
probably
point, it's
low.
not
there
great.
is some truth in what he's saying, yeah.
But my point is, it's not one draft we're looking at. We're looking at 6 years or five drafts now. Was it 6 or 2000? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 6 drafts. And real quick, it's 6 drafts, Evan. And Evan's my guy. Evan's my guy. 6 drafts. Find me any offensive lineman that they've drafted that's contributed. Find me any receiver who they've drafted who's contributed, or any quarterback they've drafted who has contributed. And Sanders and Gabriel.
And offensive linemen, you find guys in the third round all the time. Who become
all the time.
Starters, not necessarily superstars, but starters in the league.
I think that the third round is sort of like a 50-50 between being a starter or being a bust.
Yeah.
So you have a good chance to find a really good player.
Beyond that, yes, I agree. Beyond that, it's fair. You draft a guy in the 5th, 6th round, more often than not, he's not going to be a starter in the league.
I have another argument here.
Yep.
Tenna says AB deserves to stay simply because of keeping Myles here.
Oh, that's Jimmy Haslam.
That was
Myles
Jimmy.
That is. We know for a fact it's Jimmy.
Hey, listen, fans who want to keep AB may get their wish. Here's the question: If you could only keep Andrew Berry or Kevin Stefanski, who would you keep?
Stefanski.
I would keep Berry, believe it or not, as much as I've killed Berry.
I think I would keep Berry too.
And my opinion has swung in the last 2 years about this. I just think there's so many things that Kevin Stefanski have done poorly the last 2 years. In other words, I think Kevin Stefanski's gone in the wrong direction, and Berry's gone in a more positive direction of late. I
wear my tinfoil hat on Stefanski and feel like there's a lot of puppeteering behind the scenes.
Well, I mean, listen, but if there is puppeteering for him, then there would be puppeteering for Berry too, no?
Because Berry, maybe Berry for like the draft, but like the day-to-day in-season stuff, Berry doesn't. What's Berry doing right now? Nothing.
Yeah. All right.
Scout receivers.
We'll see.
I hear some scuttlebutt behind the curtain, which means...
Are we scuttlebutting?
I think we have a champion in the studio. We're going to bring him in just a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, before we bring out Abdullah, let Earl get him mic'd up real quick. Okay. I got one more super chat to read for you guys that has come in while Earl gets them all set up back here. It says, from Clutch, now that we have a first-round picks due to the trade, QB was never going to fix the team this year, but with the offense being what it is, no one expected much more than what we have now before the season. So I guess the expectations are supposed to be lowered?
I have no idea.
I didn't understand that.
Anyway, let's do a read. You got a read?
Yeah, I got a read here. Earl, you ready? Give him 1 second. Mike, what are we looking for tonight in the Cavs game? I know they're playing Portland, but give him a minute to get Mike.
Yeah, they're playing Portland. The Blazers are scrappy. They're the only team that's beaten OKC this year, by the way, so they do have arguably the league's best win. They came back from down double digits in the final 4 minutes. They have a couple of guys down low that are big, are physical, are mean, they're tough, they're aggressive. I am quite curious to see how the likes of Evan Mobley and if Jared Allen plays tonight, I know he's a game-time decision, how those two handle Donovan Clingan and some of the bigs that Portland brings. They're still dealing with the Chauncey Billups scandal. They don't have a head coach right now, so Tiago Splitter. You got a Stephen A. Smith Tiago Splitter for me, Dustin?
I don't.
Tiago No, I don't do the voice
right. He's the interim and for the season coach of the Blazers.
The coach, huh?
So we'll see how it matches up, but they play fast. They full court press the entire game. They do a lot of the things that the Cavs, frankly, don't like playing against. Cavs are 10-point favorites. I don't know if I love that line for Cleveland, but should be an up-tempo game. Both teams are scrappy in different ways, I would say. And we'll see how they bring the energy. Jalen Tyson called them out Sunday. They played with a lot more energy Monday. We'll see if they can continue it for a second straight game.
17-4.
They are.
The Cavs beat them 2 games early in the season, right?
Yeah,
Smoked
they went on like a 12-game winning streak.
All right,
Smoked
give us a read there, Anthony.
All right, guys. Abdullah Mason's in the building, and he's brought to you today by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, and every highlight moment keeps you locked in. So, if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, so you can too. And we have a winning ticket today from Dustin West, who hit big on a 10-leg parlay, winning $1,872.35 in the, I think this was the Monday night game the other day.
Anthony, we have the champ with us here. Abdullah Mason is in studio. There is the championship belt in a suitcase. Abdullah, congratulations. Do you have to buy that suitcase, or do they provide it to you?
I'm sure that they give him the case there.
They gave you the case?
Yeah, they give you the case, man. This is hard earned right here.
This is unbelievable. The youngest champion in all of boxing right now.
Look at that thing.
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
This is actually the second championship belt we've had in the studio. We had The Miz, Cleveland's own The Miz, bring his World Tag Team Championship in. This is a little more hard earned than a WWE belt.
It's the World Championship, man. Cleveland got a World Champion now, so they got somebody to root for.
How does it feel?
It feels great. It feels great. It feels like I got Cleveland on my back. They've been supporting me and my brother since we were young. Before we even started, officially boxing, we were hustling our father's his products out his fragrance store, his incense and stuff like that on the corner. And Cleveland always supporting us. They help us get to the championships and they buy stuff from us. But now that I'm a world champion, I feel like that's one step further for not just me but for Cleveland. And now I could take that even a step further. Have definitely some more, or at least have my first main event here in Cleveland or something like that, and be able to have my brothers on our card.
20-0, youngest champion. I mean, it's an unbelievable accomplishment. Did you? I guess you always knew you could do it, but did you think you could do it this fast?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like I could do it this fast, especially once we started, dialing and all my brothers, got into the sport with me.
Right.
And once we just started taking it serious, I'm like, yeah, I could take this pretty far, and I could see myself being a champion, whenever I'm prepared for that. And I saw myself being prepared around this time.
The fight went the distance.
Yeah.
Obviously, you haven't gone the distance very often. What was that like?
Yeah. It was different. This is my first time going past 6 rounds, period.
Yeah.
And to fight, that guy who was, he's arguably the sturdiest guy in the division, 12 rounds, and he's like a game dog, and coming forward all 12, still strong, still trying to hurt me from 1 to 12.
Yeah.
And for me to be in there, I knew I had to hurt him, and I did a few times. I heard him a few times when I, touched him to the body. I heard him grunt a few times, and he was still in there, and he, all 12 rounds. So, I just lived between that, what I seen inside of the ring, and then, listen to my corner. That got me through the whole fight.
You've been in, I think it's the 3rd time you've been in studio now.
Something like that, yeah.
Every time you've come in, we're amazed that it's like, Abdullah fought yesterday. Looks like hasn't fought. I see a little something on the left eye. This is the first time we've seen you get basically touched since you've been in here, Abdullah.
Yeah.
I know it was a back and forth fight. Went the whole 12 rounds. Was there any point during that fight that he tagged you and you're like, okay, it's on. Like this is now I know exactly what I got to bring to bring home the world championship.
I would say this fight was mostly me knowing that he was going to be in there and I would have to keep him up off me. So it wasn't a specific punch that he hit me with, but I would say just him withstanding everything I threw at him. I'm knowing it's going to be a long night, just me having to keep him off of me, living between, boxing him and then doing what my corner told me to make it that much easier.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I mean, I'm fascinated by, the 12 rounds and being in that grind of physically probably exhausted.
Yeah.
And then you have to then have some sort of wits about you to understand what you're in with this battle mentally.
Yeah.
Like, How much are you able to even strategize at that point in terms of like how tired you are? You're in the 11th, 12th round, and you're trying to also be like managing your fatigue and also understanding where I can hurt this guy while trying to protect yourself too. Like there's a million things. There's so much that I'm fascinated by.
You know, boxing is 100%. Well, I wouldn't say 100%. Maybe like 80, 90% a mental sport. So when you training doing your training camp, it's all mental. You know, you gotta train yourself to be in shape first, and then while you're in shape, you got to make sure you are training on all those things. You know, it's not just one thing you look at, and it's in real time as well. You know, you got to make sure you're working on your time, your reflexes, and all that. But you know, I would say, you know, it's amazing for me to be doing that in my first 12 rounds. You know, going in that type of fight. You know, at this level. I would say if they was able to be doing it, you know, they would.
Right.
If they was able to do it,
There's a great quote, legendary quote by Tyson that says everyone's got a plan until they're punched in the mouth, right? Or in the face or something like that. Getting punched, basically. When that happens, and I'm sure it's happened, and maybe it happened in this fight, what goes through your mind?
He doesn't get hit.
You've been boxing your whole life. I'm sure there's been a moment, and I'm saying you lost the fight, but at least you're like, maybe you get tagged or something. You're like, okay, we got to readjust or get your focus back.
Yeah, I mean, you just stay focused, man. You can't let that take you off your game plan. You know, it's always gonna be something coming at you, but as long as you know you're doing what you're doing, then you can get past all that.
You know, obviously, even though you're the champ now, I mean, you got a long career ahead of you. You're a young man. Do you think this fight, because you were pushed, because you went 12 rounds for the first time, was this like a bet? Do you think this is a benefit for you going forward? Because you're like, okay, I fought a hell of a fighter. He hung in there. I was the better fighter. I got it done, but he pushed me. Do you think that's good for you going forward?
Absolutely. I said in another interview before, this fight was something that showed you what makes a champion. You know, and me being a champion now, I could show what a champion is made of, everything that goes into, the skill set, me displaying the different things that I work on in training camp. And with me having a 12-round experience, I know I'm able to go through. I know there's nothing inside of the boxing ring that I can't push past. No opponent that I wouldn't be able to, strategize a game plan with my team, and that inshallah we'll be able to come out on top against anybody. And this was the first 12-rounder, and there's gonna be a lot more to come. So this definitely was a good experience, and like I said, that shows you what makes a champion. Everything that a champion needs, it shows you that I had that in the bag, and from here on out, it's just growth from here.
I know you train for more than 12 rounds. Like everyone trains beyond what the expectation is, but when you actually get into those championship rounds, the 10th, the 11th, 12th rounds that you hadn't been to yet, were you mentally and physically prepared for them, or was it different than what you expected when you actually got to that level?
Yeah, I was definitely prepared for them. When you mentally got to be prepared for more than 12 rounds. When you're inside of there, you got to think like you still in the middle of the fight, like you still in the 6th, 7th round, and once you get to that 11th, 12th round, you got to think like you got 5 more rounds in you, because if he come out crazy, then you got to come out with something even crazier than that. So I say this fight kind of just showed the level that I was at, and nobody, I don't feel like anybody would have been able to beat him at that game. That's his thing. He fighting like that, he coming forward like that, and you gotta hurt him if you want to make a statement.
When they raised your hand at the end, I understand it was a unanimous decision, but you can see in the video, Sam thinks he kind of won. You're obviously jumping up and down. I think you knew you won. They raise your hand and say, new WBO lightweight champion from Cleveland, Ohio, Abdullah Mason. At that moment, what runs through your head?
I just felt like I brought it home. It was definitely a lot of hard work put into it, and just for my hand to be raised, that's another step forward. Yeah.
It's do you wear it? Like, do you walk around wearing it ever, or you got to keep it hidden?
No, I don't be wearing it like that. I just bring it, to for certain guys that want to see it, some family or something like that, or you all.
It look. I mean, it's beautiful.
It's awesome.
It's really cool to see it in person.
It's something to represent the sweat you put in, represent the hard work. So
Can you personalize it? Is there anything, or you're not allowed to like do that? How does that work?
No, well, actually, the organization personalizes its own title for you. So I gotta get.
Okay.
I believe I do have to go get the personalized version or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
It is pretty sweet.
this is my first one, so I'm still,
Still learning the ropes.
yeah, still learning the ropes.
That's right.
Abdullah,
First of many.
any other sports you played growing up?
No, there was no other sports I played growing up, but my father had my older brothers into like mixed martial arts and different things like that.
Okay.
And they would teach it to me when I was younger, before I got into boxing.
Is there any sport out there that maybe it's who knows what it could be that would maybe translate the closest to boxing, like with something that has to do with footwork maybe or agility, or is there anything that comes to mind, or anything that you do to train that's not, it's another sport maybe, for instance?
I mean, everything that I say could be a cheat code, so I ain't gonna say too much right now.
Fair enough.
Don't reveal the secrets.
Yeah, for sure.
What was it like?
But there's definitely, you definitely got there's similarities in like every contact sport, where you got to work on the same, around the same different things.
What was it like fighting in Saudi Arabia? Like,
It was different.
I mean, it's such a different world, and the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
zone. Do you get out of your routine? Do you try to stick to your routine regardless of where you're fighting? Like,
Yeah.
how does that part work?
Yeah, no, that part we definitely had to manage the time zones. Our training times, and I fought at 2 a.m. in Saudi time, so I had to work on that time for a little
late.
bit to get used to it. Yeah, that's real late. Yeah, even when I'm here, the latest I fought was probably around 11 p.m. or something like that.
Why are boxing matches always so late?
I hate
What?
that.
Pay-per-view, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
I
but
think
why?
that was
But
pay-per-view,
people don't even stay up that late. I mean,
Let's have a nice 9 o'clock fight.
would
right?
love that.
Prefer that.
The UFC is moving their pay-per-views up an hour so they can
Yeah.
try and get more East Coast
Yeah.
people to buy and stay up.
Yeah. What's it like having your family with you? Like, they've been with you, obviously your dad, your brothers. What's that like when you're celebrating with them after winning that championship, knowing they keep you grounded, they keep you, humble? What's that like?
I would say I'm just grateful to have them with me along the journey. It feels right. With them being on my side, it's always been like this, and for me to be able to have it, it's definitely a factor to my success, and I could see that, clear as day.
Right.
So, I'm definitely grateful to have them beside me. They all been growing with me. So, I would say, it feels like this is supposed to be like this.
Before the fight,
Yeah.
sorry, but before the fight, we saw the Browns wish you good luck. I know the other teams in Cleveland, some famous Cleveland celebrities. In the aftermath of winning the world championship, who's the coolest person or the most surprising person that's reached out to you and wished you congrats on an incredible accomplishment?
Man, I don't know. There's been a few. I mean, I can't give nobody off the top of my head for this fight specifically, but there's been a lot of support, that I can say. There's been a lot of support, and, it's been continuous support from whoever reached out. They'll reach out again in my next fight and say, wish you well, keep doing your thing. So that's my thing, I'm just glad to be able to have the support from whoever's reaching out, and that it's not just a one-time thing. They'll come back and say something again, or or I'll be able to reach out to them as well. That's one thing about everybody who has been reaching out is, I hope that they can all make my fight when I fight here at home.
Right.
That's one big thing that I can't wait for. I feel like that'd be huge for Cleveland.
So is that something in the works right now? Or not quite yet?
That's something that's been in the talks.
Okay.
So it's a route to take. There's a few different routes to take with winning this world championship.
Right.
It's a door opener for wherever we want to move, and that's one of the routes we could take. So we just taking it slow and figuring out the best thing. But that's something I'm definitely looking forward to.
Will you take more now that you're a champ? Will you take more time between fights now?
Well, you definitely got to move like a champion. So you got to, do what's best for you and your team.
Right.
And make sure you're having the right fights. You're a world champion now. You've earned it. And now it's a door opener, like I said. I get to – there's a different routes we could take. And on working your way up, you just eating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And boom, I could take a little bit more time. And yeah.
Our executive producer texted us, and he's a big boxing fan, and he wanted to know if there is any plans for you to go after the WBC, WBA, and IBF lightweight belts now that you have the
that's
WBO.
another route we could take.
Okay.
Like I said, this is just a door opener. So whatever we announce, coming soon, hopefully y'all all be pleased with it, just like I know I will.
Yeah.
So there's still a long road ahead. Real long road ahead. So I'm just enjoying the journey along the way.
I know Mike asked you about celebrities before. Have you even whether it's this fight or along the way, have there been some former champs, whether your division or not, that you've spoken with that have helped you and given you advice or something?
Yeah. There's some former champs. One of them that everybody kind of knows now. He has his podcast, Andre Ward. You know, and you got you know, I just did an interview with him and Roy Jones before this fight.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a.
How was that?
One. It was cool. It was cool. You know, just knowing that these are fighters who's been through it before.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna definitely reach out to them and see what else I could grab from them.
Did you have a favorite boxer growing up that you looked up to, or even maybe an old time or two that you used to go back on YouTube and watch their fights?
Yeah. Growing up, we didn't used to watch boxing like that, but whenever we did, or like just coming into boxing, my father had us watching like the old fighters, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and stuff like that, and that's who I'm used to watching.
Nice.
I got a dumb question and a serious question. Which one do you want first?
I don't know. I might not answer them.
No. It's not that though. You guys have the motto of appetite for smoke.
Yeah.
And you guys have had that. We loved it when you told us last time I see you. Your brother's got the shirt on. You got the shirt on.
Yeah.
Now that you're the champ, does that appetite grow? Are you hungrier than ever now that you want the next best coming up to establish and confirm the fact that you're the best lightweight in the world?
Yeah, I would say now that I'm the champ, I know what it takes to get here. So now I could know how much more it takes to push past and to be even better and better. So I would say the appetite does grow, but it's a different type of appetite now.
All right, here's a dumb question. We were going through and cutting your highlights. Ant, will you play the 3 highlights back to back to back real quick? Just real quick. How do you go through the process of figuring out what you're going to wear on fight night? Because we have seen, some guys just wear regular shorts. In this most recent fight, you had the boxing shorts with the, I don't know what you call them, but the swaying things on the bottom. There's probably a body.
It's like the gladiator style.
The gladiator style, yeah. So what goes into the decision in how you're going to present yourself in the ring? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you? Is it the family? Is it the team?
It's me and the team.
Okay.
It's me and the team. So I would give ideas. Sometimes they'd be like, nah, you got to do it like this. Or, they have to give an idea. I'd be like, yeah, man, I'm going to do that. I'm going to wear that. And then we got, the lady who puts it together, Jasmine Renee. She puts our vision together. So we pretty much design it, and she kind of puts it together. And
can that hinder you at all? Can that hinder you at all in terms of your movement, having that?
No, it's so sway, right? There's no way it's getting.
No. I would say it just depends. It depends on the materials you use and all that.
That punch is filthy.
You definitely don't want to have nothing too heavy on.
So you're not going to pull a Deontay Wilder and walk out 40-pound armor walking out.
That's funny. I was thinking that when I said that, because you definitely gotta have your legs in there.
It wasn't that dumb of a question. They actually got a real answer.
So it's a serious question.
Well, it was about the appetite for smoke, which he answered perfectly.
We got all the answers.
Yeah, we got all the answers.
Yeah. So, so the idea for the Cleveland, you have a ballpark of when that might happen, or can you not really say, or we're not sure yet?
There's a ballpark for what we're hoping.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to give nothing out, put nothing out,
right.
that I can't fulfill. So we just waiting on the word for that, and hopefully it'll be soon. Hopefully it'll be next year. I've been saying that for a few years now, but hopefully it'll be 26.
Are there kids that have reached out to you that are interested in boxing, and that's, you're an inspiration, I'm sure, to a lot of kids in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you been around the kids and talked with them?
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing you get, not just as a champion, but just as somebody, just period. Wow's coming up, turning professional. There's going to be a lot of that. So my thing is just to be a good example for them, whenever they reach out or, whatever they ask me. Because right now, there's a lot we could do. There's only so much we could do being in the gym. All 5 brothers, all 5 of us professional.
Right.
And my thing right now is to just be a good example for them coming up. And for me to tell them to do the same thing, be a good example for the ones that they know watching them, But this fight definitely has put a spotlight on me because a few younger fighters who are also professional told me keep doing what you're doing. You leading the way for the rest of us or for the next generation upcoming. So, it lets me know what my work is doing.
Part of the fight game is selling fights, right?
Yeah.
And there's a big theatrical part, and some of the best trash talkers in the history of the world have come from the combat sports. Floyd, Conor McGregor and UFC, like all those. Now that you're in a position, not to call your own shots here, Abdullah, but as the champion and people are coming up trying to take your belt, you're such a humble guy. Do you ever see yourself playing into a little bit more of the theatrical side of selling a fight to make sure it's as big in numbers as you possibly can, or are you just going to stay and stick with the Abdullah Mason method that's got you to being the youngest world champion in the world right now?
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be original. I got to keep it honest. I can't force nothing that's not there. So
be yourself.
Yeah. I got to keep it honest, man. Keep it original. Keep doing what I'm doing with the family, and whatever come out, it come out. I don't want to.
I like that.
I don't want to try too hard. You got certain people. And I wouldn't say just in boxing, but just period. You could tell when somebody trying kind of hard.
Oh yeah.
And it's not coming natural. It's not original, or it's not
Authentic.
Yeah, it's not authentic.
Yeah.
Or it could be fake or whatever the case may be. But whatever it is, I'm definitely gonna keep it honest.
If you need a ghostwriter, me and Earl got you, buddy. If you need a ghostwriter for some jokes, me and Earl definitely got you.
Abdullah, how soon after the fight are you back in the gym working out?
Usually, I mean, it's kind of like however I feel. I'm a pretty active fighter.
Yeah.
So it's usually never like over like a week. So
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
What do you do after a fight to recover? I mean, I played football and it took days and to recover from a game, but we weren't taking blows to the face, body blow. I mean, you guys take a much bigger beating, especially a 12-round match. I'm sure. Like, does it take a few days to even want to get out of bed?
I mean, that's one thing I would say. I like to sleep. I just like to sleep after my fight.
Your body needs that rest, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially going through those training camps, and not just physically, but mentally. You're gonna be a little tired. So I like to sleep a little bit.
I'm disappointed you didn't ask this question already, Bull.
Yeah.
What's your go-to cheat meal after a fight?
Good question.
That's funny.
Thank you, because I know you were gonna ask it.
Yeah.
I know one of my brothers could probably tell y'all. I got I got a cheat meal. Yeah, Cleveland restaurants. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. I want y'all to recommend a place in Cleveland that got
A place in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Mr.
All right. Well, what's your favorite kind of food?
Here we go.
We got you like
we'll check the
steak,
spots. Yeah.
barbecue, burgers,
barbecue
pizza.
for sure.
Okay, barbecue. Have you been to Sweet Pork Wilson's?
We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up. Our guys at Sweet
We know
Pork
the
Wilson's
owners there.
are friends. They're probably watching. What up,
They're both-
Ramadi? What's up?
I'm telling you, have any of you guys been there, Sweet Pork Wilson's?
No, we don't even eat pork, man. We just
Oh no, but
What up?
they
Sweet
have
Pork?
other things besides pork. Check it out.
We
It's
will.
on-
We will hook you up. I promise
Yeah,
you. You guys have done
Yeah.
a lot for us. We will hook you guys up with some
Absolutely.
good barbecue.
Yes, the owners are great guys.
I'm
and they'll
texting
be
them right
thrilled
now.
to have you guys in there. And they got steaks in there, burgers in there, all kinds of cool stuff that you will enjoy. But is that what about the night before the fight or the day of the fight? Like, what do you? Is there a certain food you got to eat to get yourself ready?
Yeah, definitely got to rehydrate right.
Okay.
I've heard stories of fighters eating certain stuff and they didn't feel good on fight night. Some fighters eat a whole pizza.
Jeez, the day of the fight?
The day before the fight,
Oh,
after
okay.
weigh-ins.
You gotta carb up.
Yeah. But
How much weight do you have to
So
cut?
do
for
you
your
pasta? Pasta the day before the fight?
yeah,
The
you eat pasta.
Okay.
Definitely want to keep it good and healthy though. You still want to feel good. The job's not done after you cut weight.
Get back to this question.
Yeah,
go
How
ahead.
much you got
How much do you cut? Because you fight at 136, right?
35.
135. So
Yeah,
what?
35.
Yeah, like
So what do you walk?
What do you
are
weigh
walking
right
around
now?
today? Yeah,
right now, I haven't weighed since fight night. So
it's probably smart.
Estimate, like 150, 145?
probably around there.
Okay.
Yeah, probably around there.
How difficult is the cutting process? Because I've seen enough documentaries that people swear it's the most miserable experience of their life.
I would say it's for any athlete, cutting weight isn't the funnest part for sure, but I would say it's as easy as you make it.
Okay.
You do everything right. You as disciplined as you are, then it's gonna fall right in line with the times you gotta be on weight, and you're gonna be cool, and it's not gonna be too hard. It's mainly mental. Because it's mainly you crave those certain foods. Then if you can mentally stay away from that, then you're gonna be good for real. But
So what
if
foods
not,
do you crave then?
they know I got a sweet tooth.
Okay,
My
it's
brothers
candy
know I
guy.
got a sweet tooth. Yeah, not exactly candy, but I like dessert and stuff like that.
Mitchell's?
Ice
After
cream?
this fight, I was
Baked
eating
goods?
a whole bunch of cinnamon rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that counts as a cheat meal. I mean,
Yeah, that counts.
So, so what's next is still up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think you'll know How long do you think it'll be before you know for sure what's next?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna just have to come with the news.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to throw it up.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, we're all thrilled for you. Obviously, it's awesome that you won. That belt is amazing. And thank you so much for coming into studio with us again.
Yeah, man. Cleveland
It's been
got a world
awesome.
champion now, so I'm
It's
excited.
amazing.
I'm excited for what's to come, man. We got and the new right here. I want y'all to grab y'all some merch. And
Yeah,
the new.
plug
Is
the
this on
go.
the website, y'all?
What's the website?
So the website MasonBrothersBoxing.shop. So grab y'all and the new, Abdullah Mason and the new world champion.
And our guys at Sweet Pork
yeah.
Wilson said you guys are welcome in whenever. So we'll
Okay, for
we'll
sure,
hook
yeah.
you guys
Thank
up.
you.
We'll make sure that happens.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited, man.
MasonBrothersBoxing.shop.
Yes, sir. MasonBrothersBoxing.shop.
.shop.
see it right
Everybody
there on the
check it
screen.
out. It's a great example for all the young people in town, and it's awesome.
The youngest
Congratulations.
world champion in boxing in the
That's
world right now
amazing.
is sitting with us in the UCSS
It's
studio.
In Cleveland.
unbelievable.
In Cleveland, from
Congratulations.
Cleveland.
In Cleveland, son.
Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's going to do it for us today. We'll talk to you on overtime. Are we doing overtime?
No overtime today.
No
We got
overtime.
Abdullah
We'll
in the
talk
house.
to you tomorrow on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.